So, this is the beginning of a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is where we start speaking.
Oh, I gotta turn off all my sound on my phone, make sure it don't ring a ding.
This is where we start speaking and creating content for entertainment purposes.
Possibly educational.
Possibly educational, but usually not educational. I wouldn't.
Oh man,
I wouldn't say so.
So sleepy. Oh,
you should have some energy in a can.
Oh my God, I need energy in a can so bad. Oh, Oh, that energy is delicious.
That's a lot of energy.
Oh, I don't know.
Right here in this can.
Oh my, and it's sugar free?
What?
Dude, that's crazy.
Wow.
That I can't believe it. I'm not supposed to have sugar. Well, I mean, no one's really supposed to have that much sugar.
Tell me more about the sugar-free.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to look at the back. Okay, hold on. Only 5 calories? That's crazy. Sucre, glucide, 0. C'est un gros zéro, ça. Or goose egg. Protein, 0. Wow.
I mean, what you're describing...
It's got a shit ton of vitamins in it. Wow.
Sounds too good to be true.
That sounds ridiculous.
That's incredible. I mean, cheers to that.
Boy, I hope we never run out.
Nope.
Tastes like esports.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this gives me the strength to go to a SF5 tourney and beat a time-traveling Blanca player.
Let me just...
Oh, you need a new one? Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let me just...
Oh, it's so good. Oh, you careful there. We only have 7 of those.
Okay, I'm sorry. We almost lost a case.
Wait, 7? We must have 8.
Must have lost a case there.
Yeah.
Things don't come in odd numbers like that.
That's stupid.
All right.
Don't worry about that.
Well then. Hi.
Now that I'm energized, we can properly start the podcast.
Let's have a podcast.
And I know exactly where to start the podcast.
Do tell.
Last week on this very podcast, I said something, as I often do, because I'm speaking about 50% of the time. We were talking about Apex Legends, and I made the claim, upon being asked, do you think Apex could ever beat Fortnite? You did make that claim. I said, I think that would be ridiculous, because Fortnite has so much momentum, but I could see Apex coasting to a comfortable number 2.
Although the quotes were, I believe the quotes had a lot more exclamation marks and question marks at the end of them.
Possible. I think by the end of that sentence, Apex totally eclipsed Fortnite.
Yeah.
In a shocking way.
In viewership.
And just immediate and out the gate numbers. Whoa. Well, they're up to 30 million now?
Yeah, I mean, they still have to conquer 200.
Yeah, sure, but I don't think Fortnite had fucking 30 out in the day.
Within a week, yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Wow.
That thing's moving.
Sure is.
Respawn is now in the position of the thing that killed Respawn.
Yes.
And
I have... You know, it's funny, I haven't played Anthem, but I've done a lot of research on Anthem. So I'll have something to talk about on that. Respawn is now in the exact same position they were in after Modern Warfare 2 came out. Where
the funny thing is
they have the biggest game around.
They actually... Here's the question, right? Is like, did they have the resources to self-publish this?
I doubt it.
Right? What if they did? Then they would just become their own giant.
I don't think anybody has the resources to self-publish something like this. Like
even if Apex was the same game, not having the EA money means the outreach would have been less.
No, what I mean is like you touch that game and you feel the money. You feel the 100 passes.
But you also feel the Titanfall.
Yeah, but what I mean is you feel the 100 passes they did on the map, the 35 variations of the slide mechanic. Because time Because time.
The disconnects that happen when you're down to the final 3.
So I want to talk about the game's technical state. I talked a little bit about Twitter. So let's be clear. Well, you've been playing a lot of Apex Legends.
I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends.
I've been playing a lot of Apex Legends. It's a great game.
I'm up on Origin, so my bugs are, I don't know if they're Origin specific or not.
Some are. Some aren't. But this game is the hottest shit in a while. Everybody's doing it. I'm on the PS4. I got friends doing the same. They're hopping off Origin to PS4 because they can't hang with mouse and keyboard people. But whatever. Everybody, it's fun. You know, on PS4 you don't even need a Plus subscription to play it.
Yeah.
But apparently on Xbox you do.
You do,
which sucks.
Yeah.
That's a free to play concession.
PlayStation made a smart choice there. That's a fucking, you get everybody in on the Mario and Duck Hunt.
So, boy, this game is hot. But there's a couple weird things about it. One, it ain't stable for shit. Crashes all the time. Disconnects quite often. The worst disconnect problem on the PS4 for me is not, as you described, people drop in the match. It's loading into the match was like, I'm playing a solo queue. All right. Okay. Gonna run this by myself.
Okay.
That sucks.
I would infinitely prefer that to happen to me than what usually happens.
The stolen win.
Which is the delayed disconnect after an amazing match.
That's not good.
After fucking, like, fighting out of a situation and getting down to being one of the last groups and basically having the body is in the death zone.
Yeah.
We need to go retrieve it and zipline back out and have the kits ready for healing over here.
Yeah.
Like, literally that type of scenario just occurred, and then we readied up and we're about to hit that final 3, or final 2 rather, and fucking drop, you know? And then another game where late game, 4 squads left, final drop. Like, I fucking get these delayed ass drops.
That's not good.
That hurt.
I know exactly who to blame on that. That's Origin, for sure. You know how I know? Because I went to uninstall Apex Legends off my PC this morning because I'm like, I'm gonna be playing this on a console. Period. Gonna uninstall it. Origin crashed every time I opened Origin, and I couldn't even get to it. I had to restart my fucking computer.
Could be worse. Could be a game that doesn't delete its actual files, just the executable.
Oh! I'll leave all of you to guess what game we're talking about.
Shoutouts to Lee First, resetting the clock on the 76 uninstall.
So that's not just bad because it's annoying. That means the registry shit doesn't get uninstalled either, which is messy.
Yeah.
You don't want a messy registry.
No. So in Apex's case, yeah, that could be some Origin shit going down. Weird things where I'm getting messages after that happens, by the way. Oftentimes it's followed up by a prompt that says the party leader has dropped.
Yeah.
That stays for probably the rest of your session.
That actually does legitimately feel like my experience with Titanfall 2 on Origin.
Okay.
That feels like a network thing.
Yeah, so that fucking is annoying.
On the PS4, instead, you get just hard crash.
Yeah.
And twice now, I've had crashes that required me to unplug my PS4 from the wall.
Wow.
Like hard locks on the
yeah.
console.
Yeah, okay.
And then the PS4, I hate this. I guess this is compliance or something. It has the audacity to tell me, hey, make sure to shut your shit down properly.
Yeah.
This could screw up your hard drive. Yeah. Motherfucker, you made the mistake.
Yeah.
That was you.
The only other thing I notice often is the character select bug, where 2 people are in one group, or 2 people are in the group, the third person lags while loading in, and then they get in before the game starts, but really, really late. It just defaults to their default choice.
Okay.
And
that's not bad.
It's not that bad. No, it's really not that bad. It defaults to their default choice, and you get some weird audio things that are out of sync because the music hasn't had a chance to become that big swelling theme that it does. But usually by the time you hit the game, ready to drop, everybody's in and it's fine. But, like, yeah, not that bad in terms of every other thing, but these drops suck.
I've been able to troubleshoot the nature of the PS4 crashes.
Yeah.
It is related to something to do with their voice chat.
Okay.
When you turn on the option that is turn speech into text,
yeah.
If someone fucking speaks, the game crashes. And when you turn on the party chat,
that clearly is not a reproducible, consistent issue.
I have been every single time.
I did it on PS4. I had it work.
Okay, I've never had it work.
But it was trying to turn Spanish into English, and it was failing to do so.
Well, every single fucking time I had that option on, I crashed the instant somebody spoke. And then you go to party chat and make your private party, and then that crashes the game quite often as well. The only time the game doesn't crash for me is when I listen to the 12-year-old yell at his parents. It is not worth it. I would rather have the game fucking crash.
I'm in Discord, so I'm avoiding that entirely. But man,
that game's hot.
It's got stuff and fun, and I it's interesting because like as you say that like friends are making the exodus over to PS4, like I'm like getting more comfortable on PC. I'm getting more comfortable like actually helping, you know. When there's no lifeline on the team, I'm hogging those ultimate accelerants and I'm airstriking motherfuckers and you know, trying to land a ninja star on you, because if you get ninja stars, you're fucking
awful.
dead.
I hate those.
You're crazy. You're crazy and you suck.
No. I mean, I hate what happens to you.
Okay. Because I'm like, if you think they're awful, like awful as in getting hit with them sucks.
It's the worst
ever. Okay.
It's like a little May you can throw
I was
at people.
about to blow you the fuck up because those ninja stars are amazing.
No, you throw that on a door, the door is now completely impassable.
Yeah, they're great. They're great. Just the swing of things, you know. I remember when I was like, wait, what ammo type goes with what? And then now I'm like, okay, yeah.
And now it's like, oh, there's 3.
Right. And
4 technically.
And then the really, you got to get really, the efficiency of like in that first area especially, just grabbing everything, and then while you're sprinting to the next thing,
throw it on the floor.
Throw the rest out.
Yeah,
grab
it all.
Grab it all, sort it out later. Yeah.
And I've also broken myself with the habit of like, don't pick up attachments you don't need. No matter how good that fucking attachment is, unless it's like a precision choke or something like that.
So I was gonna say that like, you say that, but a couple of good games have been me picking up Skull Piercer or Precision Choke, holding on to it.
Skull Piercer, Precision Choke, and the thing that spins up Devotion.
Yeah, because
those 3.
That's what I'm saying.
Keep those.
You're gonna find yourself if you find yourself a Prowler, if you find yourself a Devotion or a Wingman.
Yeah,
you're going in, and it's gonna hurt. And like, I was practicing aiming with the Devotion a little bit more while that's on, and you basically just treat it like a laser.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of that stuff is like, walk with that, because if you find a Wingman, you're going to want to switch to that.
No, those always keep them, because it turns the fucking Peacekeeper into a sniper rifle.
Select
which
fire.
Which is actually wild. I can't believe that. It turns the Wingman into a sniper rifle that does it's the best gun ever. Well, and it turns the fucking Devotion into a laser.
Minus the Mastiff and the gold guns. The gold guns.
That being said, I think the Spitfire is probably the hands down best gun in the game overall. I have killed entire teams twice now with one clip.
Spitfire is my heavy of choice, and Wingman as well. You know, personally, I really enjoy those. But again, there's a gun tier list out there.
Yeah, I think the Mozambique is actually not as bad as the P20.
Mozambique is a shotgun that doesn't kill you on an emptied clip.
It's also highly accurate. So the idea...
But if you were up close and you emptied the clip into someone's head, they would not die.
No. If you hit them with 2.5 Mozambiques, you can melee them down in 2 hits.
Okay, I guess.
Unlike the P20,
okay,
which requires like its entire clip twice over.
So we play the game. I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but it's I think I did. Just first to tag it.
You did.
First to tag that Mozambique. So how do you save it? How do you fix it? Dual wield. Pick up a second Mozambique and now you're Reaper.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get that going. But it's a shotgun that doesn't fucking kill you.
I foresee.
What are you doing?
Weapon changes or slight weapon updates incoming at some point. Not to make Mozambique good, but to make it
kill you.
Less awful than...
Let it kill you.
I have seen players run at me with a Mozambique in between us and choose to melee me instead.
Dude, like, you can't get a knock with it. Like, what do you do? And so you have to basically... Anyway, it would be... it would be...
You could dual wield it
surprising.
with double the reload time.
It would be surprising to see it not get some sort of update. But as it is at the moment... Here's the other problem. The class of gun that it's in makes it worse than it is.
Yes, because the class of gun it's in has one that's pretty good and one that is arguably the best gun in the game.
If you pick up a fucking Ava or anything,
Ava's fine.
If you pick up the Ava, you can do your thing, and like those bullets are worth more.
Yeah.
In that, so like,
and if you find a peacekeeper, great, you're set the whole match.
Those bullets are worth more in that. So you're literally wasting valuable bullets inside the fucking Mozambique. Yeah.
I don't like it. Apparently, it's named after a kill pattern, which is 2 to the one in each lung and 1 in the dome.
Ironic considering it doesn't kill.
Damn.
Anyway,
seriously, that gun is shit. I've had all sorts of great moments.
I was gonna say, speaking of kills, yeah, like I had a great moment too. Yesterday, I got my first final shot of the match.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I got my first, like, I'm the one that did it.
It was me.
Like, yeah. It was fucking great.
I had 2 or 3 last week that were like, I'm downed, and then I downed a guy, like I did it, but like I win the match like on the floor, which is not really cool. But I also got 1 or 2, which is just like, I shot him. It was me.
You ever play around with that golden equipment?
The Kraber feels like a trap. It feels like a trap for me.
How so?
It feels like, look at this golden gun. It's so amazing. Oh, it's like you might as well point it towards your own head.
Oh, really?
Just fucking die.
Okay,
Pat.
So that thing is a thing of beauty because, as you know, you line it up with the head, they dead.
Yeah.
That's the end of that.
The first part of that is the problem.
Yes, it is. And if you land it up center mass, you're doing pretty good.
Yeah. The for real problem I have with that is that this is a game that, like, the sniper rifles have, they're not hit scan. They're not hit scan for shit. They have travel time and significant bullet drop. And I saw a guy and he was 230 meters away. I'm like, got him. He wasn't even moving. And I shot at him, and it hit the floor like 50 meters in front of him. I'm like, oh.
I mean, if you... it's interesting, like, seeing how much aim down the sights affects things, because I didn't realize in other first-person shoot. I didn't know if other FPSs are the same. I assume they are. But, like, the wildness of the spread on certain guns when you're not ADS compared to when you are... Just like I guess
makes it useless.
Makes it completely worthless.
Yeah.
And I guess the alternator is the one that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Right?
I had my favorite kill so far, which was me sliding down the hill into the valley behind a lifeline with both of us hip firing our alternators at each other, and I came out on top, and I was like, yeah. The Mastiff, on the other hand, fuck.
Use rangefinder. It actually measures distance. Interesting. The Mastiff, yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. But but I also I didn't say golden weapons. I was saying golden equipment.
I have not gotten any golden equipment.
Dude. The golden equipment is so fucking good. It's in some cases questionable. Like, I'm not going to say busted. I'm not going to say OP, but I'm going to say OD. I'm going to say OD for my New York people.
Okay.
Golden backpack equals take that progress bar and remove it. Because it's thirded, halved.
For what?
Any progress bar.
Oh, so heals?
Heals are now turbo heals.
So, like, Phoenix heal in, like, 2
Phoenix
seconds?
kits are instantaneous.
Oh.
Not instantaneous, but they're really quick.
Ooh, that's cheating.
And
that's super cheating.
If your lifeline, the stack of how fast you heal shit is on top of that thing.
Just stand in it.
So, lifeline with a golden backpack is I don't have a progress bar.
I see. That's awful.
Right? You have the golden knockdown shield, which I'm sure you must know about by now.
I heard...
If you see somebody...
I heard something, and I didn't believe it.
If you see somebody with a golden knockdown shield, that motherfucker is getting back up. Because it's a self-res.
That's... So run up and start Just putting as much damage in
Put
as
it
you
all
possibly can.
in.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
If you see someone with golden body armor, this one's not as useful, but it's like any executions, refill your shield.
Okay, I get it.
Right?
Because the idea is that as long as you survive the execution, you'll come out of it with a full shield. Which is a 4-bar shield, I assume?
So it's basically like, use the whole thing, spend that time, hope that you don't get murdered in the process, and come out with a shield, which I'm like, maybe don't do that.
What about the helmet?
I don't know what the helmet does. Those are the 3 that I have seen and experienced so far. There's like those things that like the drop golden shit, or the shit that's in the high tier zone, the hotspot stuff. Like if you get that and you know how to play,
apparently helmet is your ult charges faster.
Quick ult. There you go. There you go.
Just as busted as the other 2 you mentioned.
So I'm saying if you have a team that's hoarding golden equipment,
that's a win.
Like you are making it to the end of the game, no problem. And like unless you fuck up, that should be yours. Assuming everyone's playing properly, that should be yours. It's fucking.
I find it really interesting because the way that looting in this game works is that the likelihood of encountering that shit increases the farther you go into the game, as every team you drop has better and better shit.
Yes, yeah. When you bring people back late game, find a body coffin, not a looting room or whatever. Golden barrel stabilizer negates all recoil.
All recoil.
Aim at the dot, hit the dot.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's nuts, that's cool stuff that's in there. I
gotta say, especially after playing like a bunch of PUBG and some Blackout, like the system they have for attachments in this game, just like bang bang bang, like click, like instant.
Switch it over, pop it up, pick up a new gun.
Transfer all your shit to this new gun. It's great. It's super fast.
Absolutely. There's occasionally I'm still picking up some wrong attachments and thinking they're compatible when they're not.
Yeah, I'm picking up a sniper stock for light weapon
and such. So that is still occurring, but for the most part, having a good old time with it. Developing some like feels for like repeatable strategies, which I shan't go into.
You tell me those later.
No, I shan't go into.
I think can I describe an unrepeatable strategy? There's 2.
Sure.
One, dropping early is a death sentence.
Yeah.
Like
it's for people that's for quick play. I wanna bang now.
Yeah.
Right?
If you drop and the number on that thing is 30 or higher, you are going to die in 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's wild.
If you drop ship or are hot zone immediately underneath the drop ship.
People who drop on the line make me want to die.
Yeah.
And then I do.
Yeah. Here's the one argument in favor of dropping instantly.
What's that?
Currently, how good are you at killing people?
Fairly.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to get better at that?
Yeah.
Drop in immediately and learn to kill.
So my problem...
Practice mode is not training mode. It's dropping instantly and learning how to fight.
My issue is that if I were to able to get a gun, I'd have no problem. My issue is that half the time I drop in immediately.
Yeah.
Somebody else gets a gun before me, and then I'm fighting. I'm being meleeed by 2 people and being shot with 1 person. Now, granted, they're shooting me with the Mozambique, so
yes.
it's not.
It's a mess, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like the average game that you play like properly and quietly, and then eventually moving up, engaging, choosing not to engage sometimes, sneaking around and playing the circle will get you further into the game, and is the right way to win. But for just learning how to deal with engagements at all. Dropping into that hot zone immediately
for me,
forces multiple fights, and you just get practicing.
Acclimation of the things I already know about, like Call of Duty and stuff like that, into this new system. I saw this fantastic breakdown on Reddit of what makes Apex different from nearly every other shooter that's currently popular on the market.
Yeah.
In terms of its time to kill.
Yep.
And
it takes a while.
not only does it take a while, it's like closer to Halo than anything, really.
You got a big old life bar to get through, and then you got a res to get through.
Yeah, and you got a team you got to kill before you can, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is that the number one big change is that
melees
it's not,
don't kill you right away.
It's not about TTK. It's not about time to kill. It's about accuracy per kill. So in Blackout or PUBG, right, and even a little bit in Fortnite, but not as bad as the other two. Say you have a full clip of 30 rounds. How many do you actually need to put into somebody for them to just fucking die?
Yeah.
Like 5? Right? The minimum required accuracy is like 25% of the highest, right? In Apex, if anyone has a shield, you can dump the entire alternator into them.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll probably still be alive. And that's after every single bullet in the thing. The average accuracy required per clip on like unarmored or even is like 60% or higher, which means you need to hit the people.
So, well, again, it sort of depends. Like with most of the heavies, if you hold the full clip on them, that number is going over 200. Mm-hmm. That's generally what you're looking for. And or with the wingman, you're just getting that 45, you know what I mean? Whatever. But, yeah, no, there is a really high percentage of a chance in this game that they're going to keep moving and find some cover before you get that kill.
If you are inaccurate, you will finish your clip, and they'll be alive, and they'll be running away.
However, if you're engaging properly, there's probably 2 of you engaging on one. You've got grenades and arc stars flying. You've got ults popping.
Yes.
You've got Bangalore's acting like Sonic on the fucking battlefield.
I didn't realize how fast they moved until I played
Tracer.
It's crazy.
It's Tracer.
It's wild.
You don't realize that's exactly
They're so fast.
Yeah, no. Bangalore with that thing is really that's a great passive. But yes, all that to say that for me at least, I've been basically ping-ponging.
Yeah, I'm messing around with everybody. I played a bunch of Gibraltar.
Oh no, I don't mean ping-ponging. I'm setting my character choices. I play according to the design that I like, and I was Pathfinder, and then ultimately, despite the grapple, I just couldn't get it done.
Man, Pathfinder's grapple shenanigans are like there's multiple levels.
Yeah.
The base level to just get a huge jump is trivially easy to do. It's super easy. You get the swing of it fairly quickly if you try to practice using it while traversing regularly when you don't need to.
Kind of like people with Mirage just bamboozle all day because why not?
Yeah.
But
their ult sucks.
But the whatchamacallit? The thing with me, though, I found was just that, like, yeah, no, once I'm, like, doing Gibraltar, and I'm like, I like this character, this design, what he does, what it's about, regardless, I'm going to play him because of that. But, like, obviously that's not the way to fucking always win if you can do something better to help your team out or so.
What if you play with randoms and somebody picks Gibraltar?
Then you need to have an alt ready.
Yeah. You need to have 2. Yes,
exactly. In which case, I'm going to go back to Pathfinder or probably do Bangalore, probably. But yeah, it feels like a waste, though, if like the person with the best accuracy on your team is not playing Bangalore, though. It feels like a waste of a slot on you because you should be getting kills with that thing.
Yeah,
running forward, getting into fights, picking motherfuckers off, and just running out. Like
I'm fascinated to see what new what legends are likely going to be added in like 3 weeks.
Yeah. I've been told to hold on to my points and spend them.
Caustic and Mirage suck.
Spend them on the new one.
They're not good.
But at the same time, we had a fight that ended because we got pushed into the base indoors, and we couldn't get out because Caustic was grenading the fuck out of that hallway. And we fought for too long, and then another group snuck up on us.
I have a pro tip for everybody that doesn't like fighting against Caustic. His barrels have a big yellow area.
The bottom.
They also have a red ring around the bottom. If you shoot the red ring at the bottom, the barrel explodes harmlessly.
Yeah, you can blow them up. But either way, I can see myself holding on to those points to see what comes.
Yeah.
Got myself
soon.
got myself a legendary Mozambique skin though.
Ooh.
Right?
I got a legendary Peacekeeper.
Hey now.
A little. It's the green one with the glowy shit on it.
Yeah.
I actually like it quite a bit.
Wow.
So yeah, what we kind of sidetracked because the game's so good. I just want to talk about, but like, I've been talking about this and I'm asking people about this. Did I talk about the game getting kicked out the door early last week?
Possibly.
Well, it feels like the game got kicked out the door early, and then I went and looked, and apparently, when players asked, "Hey, how come there's no weapon stats in the game of any kind?" the response from the devs was like, "Game came in too hot. There was no time."
Are you're not referring to the counters on your profile?
No, I'm talking like there's no, like when you look at the weapon, there's no way to check what the actual damage of the fucking weapon is. It's just
very okay. Sorry. Yeah,
right, and it's like there's actually not that many cosmetics in the game at all, and that legend screen seems fucking super empty.
Yeah,
and it's baffling as shit that the game didn't launch with the battle pass, because that seems like the most obvious thing in the world.
We we'll never know, or maybe we will eventually, but we don't know why it released in such a sudden
hazard a fucking guess
fashion.
I suspect this game was supposed to release later in March, or maybe even April, right? And that the time that they say all this shit's going to be ready by, and that the reason why I kicked out early is, have you seen this Anthem shit? Have you seen this shit over the weekend? Oh, it's bad.
I heard
it's way worse than Destiny 1 was when it came out.
I heard they didn't. It wasn't cracking 33K on Twitch, and so it's struggling.
Like I follow Skill Up, Quiet Shy, and Brozeme on Twitter, and I know Brozeme follows me because he was talking to me about this. And all three, Skill Up was a guy who was like championing this game, like it's gonna be the new shit, and he's just dumping on it for like 10 tweets in a row. I'm watching videos of the game just on fire, falling apart.
So I saw two things. I saw the Jurassic Park video where flying into the world, it all just pops in, and it's a reproducible.
So Eli, one Plague of Gripes, sent me a Reddit link from the Anthem Reddit, in which a guy who does all sorts of hard drive shenanigans, he's got some kind of weird setup, discovered that the game is reading hundreds of gigabytes of data per hour off your drive for some reason. And it appears to be that the game just constantly loads assets in and out for every single area, even if there's common assets. He described walking from one end to the hub was loading entire, like, tens of gigs of hard drive data in a memory the whole time.
It's built on the Andromeda engine, right?
I believe it is. An engine that we all know to be high quality.
Well, the other thing I saw, and I mean, this is a story in the week, to be honest, but it was just the Seagull video of them fighting the final boss on Twitch, and a level 3 player joins by doing Quickplay.
Yeah.
And goes, "Hey guys, what's going on over here?" And they go, "Oh God, run. Get out of here."
Yeah.
"No, don't leave, kid. Get out of here, kid." And he's like, "What? No, this is the final boss. Leave." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he leaves. And then someone else that's like level 2 or whatever jumps in.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, geez." And then that guy sticks around.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "I guess Quickplay can bring you to the end of the game."
On top of that, I saw people talking about how the fucking final cutscene crashed for them and then loads them into the hub, and there's no way to look at it.
Oh.
So they had to look at the final cutscene up on YouTube.
That's a personal knife twist on me. That's a content knife twist.
Shy, if you go to
you
go to Quiet Shy's fucking YouTube channel, she just posted a video of a cutscene in which every model is like distorting like Halo nightmares, and everything is just fucking breaking apart. Like, the game is on fire. Oh, and everyone is constantly disconnecting. Like, it is just the least stable thing ever.
So the demo was more stable?
The demo was more stable because less people were playing it. Like, it is an active bomb. The game's not out.
Oh, you mean Apex was dropped like a bomb prior?
Yes,
But
and set
post demo.
I genuinely feel like the reaction was, is Anthem going to be ready to go? No. Can Apex launch right now? Yeah.
Hit the button.
Hit the button. Right?
Or release the button.
I can't, dude. The timing is so fucking like, it's so specific. They've been planning Anthem's fucking release date for years, right?
But they've also been clearly planning a Fortnite killer.
Yeah,
for
but that
a
coulda-
long time.
That could have come out fucking whenever. That doesn't matter. Nobody knew about the game. There weren't even rumors
No, there
about
was
the game.
literally nothing.
That could have come out in April.
And everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, Respawn, Titanfall 3."
All I can in my chest, and I you know, maybe someone out there can, right, call me, but all I can see is this fiscal. Anthem is not gonna do the numbers it needs to do for the quarter. Let's hope Anthem does the numbers. So we're gonna take this Q2 thing and move it to Q1. And sure enough, their Q1's gonna be just fine now. Gonna be just fine, and they can get that battle pass out in mid-March, and that'll go on into Q2.
Hey, Fortnite though, new season, get it free.
Yeah, why not? Competition's good for everybody.
Get it free if you do the thing.
BioWare is so fucking dead. BioWare is not going to exist in 2 years. That company is gone. This is depressing to Pat.
I imagine a hard swerve into a different direction.
I think.
I don't think they're actually gonna die. I think they're gonna swerve.
You think they're gonna just get turned into a mobile studio?
No, but I think they're gonna swerve towards other games.
I don't know, man, because like Visceral is a company that I really liked at EA, and I saw them do Dead Space. It was great, and I saw meddling into Dead Space 2, but that worked out really well. And I saw meddling into Dead Space 3, and that did really poorly. And then I saw them get turned into a company that makes goddamn maps for Call of Duty or Battlefield, whatever the fuck company they work for. I can't even remember now. And then they got disintegrated.
Well,
right?
Unless something unexpected happens, I guess.
But also, I mean, Wooly, Mass Effect Andromeda came out right fucking, I don't know, one of these over there or whatever, right? That shit doesn't exist anymore. Fucking BioWare Montreal. And this is going to be a way bigger fucking bomb than that.
Yeah. Again, reason to believe, you know, reason to believe stuff. But,
this is a bummer.
But
I think the most damning video I saw is SkillUp putting out his video of like, look, I got a masterwork, which is the equivalent of an exotic weapon, right? It's like the big fancy unique weapon, and it's a grenade launcher. And he's firing it, and the grenades don't explode.
Ouch.
They just fall out of the gun and sit there. Yeah. This game is not ready to come out. And it's coming out in a couple days.
Yeah. Again, like, I don't know. I like there might just be a cliff, you know. But I imagine the dot on the map is greener pastures, not in the Elysian Fields sense, but in the sense of like swerving to other stuff.
I would to everybody out there that follows video game news, I would keep your eye out for high-level staff departures at BioWare.
Sure.
Because that signals that everybody knows that the fucking axe is coming. You know, maybe they'll ride Anthem out and see if they can turn it around, and then once that's done, then the process will begin. But that
yeah, rumors on the winds, though. You know.
I remember the very first time I saw the real gameplay of Anthem, I was like, oh my god, this looks so fucking bad. And it doesn't look much better than what we saw like 2 years ago.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of folks did leave, actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, that being said, so what I meant when I said ping pong was actually that I've been ping ponging between battle royale games.
Oh yeah. What? Oh yes.
Because I would play a couple games of Apex, not get a chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Feel like I want some chicken, jump on over to Tetris.
That's correct.
Get me some chicken.
Mm-hmm.
And that game, made by Eureka,
Really?
believe it or not, surprisingly, Eureka really came up with something interesting with depth and plays and styles and decisions that you have to make while still playing Tetris.
It's all going on as you do the Tetris, yes?
And it's so interesting because it tells you nothing. And it explains nothing. And it basically...
Tetris. You know what Tetris is.
But the actual 99 mode has no tutorial, no explanation of what's happening. It doesn't tell you shit.
All I know is that there's a D-pad looking button up at the top that says like score and KO.
Choose what to attack.
Okay.
Right? That's all that is. But like every week comes with, or every day comes with new tech and new things people are learning about the game, to the point where now, like, from what I understand, like, what I understand about the game is so different, and the way you have to play, like, playing smart to win involves a lot more than just picking one, sticking to it, and just playing really solid. That is the most important thing of all. But I would compare it to, like, imagine if you had, like, really, really amazing aim and you were playing Apex, no matter what gun you picked up, but you didn't know the map and you didn't know the guns.
You'd be fucked.
So that's knowledge is going to win there, right?
Yeah.
So some fun things that, you have where you're basically, like, you're playing a balancing act, right? Because you can do moves like you can kill as many people as possible to buff yourself up with badges, right? Every time you get a kill, you get a badge.
All right.
Every time you get a badge, you send more garbage.
Oh, fuck. That's... Oh, okay.
The more badges you get, the stronger your garbage becomes. When you have a couple badges and you do a clear of, like, whatever, of, like, a Tetris, it sends more than a Tetris over, right?
That's awful. That's really awful.
If you do, like, combos instead, your combos start stacking higher, and there's even a point where you can do the math on it, and Min found this, but you do a combo up to, like, let's say you hit a 15 chain, and after that 15 chain, every single line converts to 9 lines of garbage.
That's a lot of garbage.
Right? So, endless trash.
Yes.
Is the name of the game. And you want to actually combo it. You want to sometimes alternate between comboing and stacking high.
Yeah.
Right? You want to alternate between getting yourself in the red zone where people are going to start targeting you and picking a few targets off, and then switching to just defense.
It sounds like a genuinely fascinating idea, because Tetris by yourself is an ongoing game of defense. Defense against time and the pieces, right?
Yes.
And this is, no, fuck you. Let's just assume you can handle all the defense in the world.
Yes.
Use your defense to kill.
Yes. The other thing is the pace of the match is dictated by those who rule it.
Yeah, I've seen.
So,
I've watched some winning games, and it's like whoever the 3 or 4 strongest people are dictating the entire.
This is
game.
so here's the actual thing. All right, there are 5 people that influence the match at any given time. The rest of you, 94 of you, or 93, I should say, are or 94.
94,
yeah, I'm correct. 94 of you are chaff.
Yeah.
And what's happening?
You are points to be earned.
Is every once in a while when you're targeting people and you're feeding off of the chaff.
Yes.
You encounter one of the 5, and then you start fighting each other, and you go, "Oh, disengage." Not the time is not
Later.
now. The time is not now. I have not amassed enough power.
Yeah.
I have not accrued enough badges.
Kill more mobs to get more XP.
So when you have an early encounter and you see that stat coming, oftentimes it's possible that you're just too weak at that moment and they got more kills than you. But when you see these moments where you lock eyes with the true enemy, you need to disengage if it's before the 50% mark, right? If it's before the half point.
Yeah.
And so those happen and you fucking swerve off and head back to devouring souls, right?
The Apex analogy was like you shoot at somebody and they turn around and you can see they're all in gold and you're like, not yet.
Not yet.
No, we're gonna go kill some stragglers near the edge.
And so you swerve off and then you go on the attack, and then you basically also can choose to slow down at times, right? And here's the thing. If you go on the attack the whole time, you're going to eventually devour hour and go nuts and just kill a bunch of people really, really quickly and get the game to the halfway point. And you'll be finding yourself in that top 20 to top 10 with pieces falling still relatively slow, right?
Okay.
And by slow I mean fast, but not as fast as you
instantaneous.
Not instant drop.
Yeah.
Right? If you play passive and just keep yourself surviving, which is what most people are doing, the game will enter the halfway point with instant drops.
Okay.
At which point people are not even worried about attacks anymore. They just can't keep up with the flow of the water.
And that's a good time to kill people.
But also now fighting in not the stopped time, but the accelerated time.
Yeah.
Which is another JoJo reference,
of course,
for those who know. Fighting within the accelerated time, way harder against motherfuckers that have your number than it would be in slower times, right? So if you want to stand the best chance and you're confident in your ability to fight them with slower pieces, you need to speed the game up by killing the chaff faster so that when you arrive to fight these people, you have the game moving at a speed that you're comfortable with.
There's a very significant metagame you're describing.
Right? Whereas if you lame it out in the beginning and everyone else lames it out and you're a pace setter, if you're one of the five, then you slowed the whole game down to the point where people survived longer. They're gonna die when that speed up does occur, but it happens way faster, and it means by the time you get to that final five, fucking made in heaven. Like,
so the idea is that you slow it down, and then when they're all about to die, you just bam, 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 like 10 in a row.
Say that again?
Like, the idea is that you've slowed the game down so that more people make it to the halfway point, and then you just, like, swing the scythe and take out just a ton at once.
Well, it'll happen naturally anyways, right? But by playing slowly instead of just aggressively killing people and aggressively targeting KOs especially, you're going to have less badges at that point. So you'll also be underpowered going into it. So
this feels like more of a philosophical idea.
You have to choose how and when to go full aggressive, passive aggressive, full on passive.
Like, people are going to have styles of play.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, there's been those moments where I'm targeting one person and I switch to another, and the moment I switch to the other, the garbage stacks on my side, and I'm going to go, not yet. That's the one. I'll come back for you.
So to transform this into proper Battle Royale terms, it's the difference between getting decent gear and sprinting to the fucking dead center of the map
and waiting
and getting the good position but maybe not the best gear
and waiting in the circle
instead of scraping the outside of the circle and just eating up all the good gear from everyone you have to kill, but then advancing into people who have a good position.
But here's the thing though, right? What I described is just one way.
Yeah.
What I've also done and what you can do is sometimes if you're feeling yourself and you find that god early, you go for it.
And if you can get rid of them,
and if you kill that god, you get all their badges. Because everything you killed is now mine.
Earn your badges.
Now I've got your power. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a meta game here,
dude,
man.
I've seen some,
it's so good.
I've seen some talk, and the one comment that stuck out to me was that Apex and Tetris 99 coming out like this. Like, Battle Royale is not a fad. It is a new genre, and it is just starting.
Yeah.
Like,
I would even
do you think for a second that, like, we made our wrestling game Battle Royale idea? Remember that?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Tetris?
Yeah.
Fucking Tetris, motherfucker!
The fact that, like, now multiplayer is just going to... And here's the thing. Like, 2 of these have come out and have swayed me hard into this. So now, ultimately, all we're this is just us being late to the party. Let's be real. This is just us being late to the party.
I played PUBG.
Yeah, I guess you did. I didn't. But
I mean, I was late to
no,
that
but we didn't know what PUBG was when
then I
Vinny
played
was
it.
on, right?
Paige got her fucking chicken dinner before I did.
And then Fortnite and so on, and ultimately just being in the space of things that we don't care about and whatever. But what I was gonna say is, this is basically like multiplayer games are now everybody at the same time with one life, as opposed to a few people with multiple lives.
It honestly has a lot of benefits. Did you have a disastrous match? Don't worry about it. You're in the next match.
Right. Sure. A lot of tweets and messages basically echoing the sentiment that Iron Spike put out there, which was Tetris 99 taught me there's an entire roiling underbelly of god-tier Tetris degenerates that have been unknowingly training for this week their entire lives.
I absolutely love that Scrub Quotes is now pulling out people just screaming about, like, I loved when Tetris was just a fun little puzzle game to play, but now these motherfuckers T-spinning and doing all sorts of eldritch shit.
Yeah.
Fucking people have had almost 40 fucking years to get good at Tetris, guy.
Having a good time watching Twitch streamers get destroyed by accounts named Eileen and Love My Kids 72. You know, like, it's super dope.
It's great. It's absolutely great.
So, all that comes together to a fucking head where it's like, yeah, you know, I'm like JJ over on stream with Max just being like, yeah, I'm at like 17 or 18, and I'm like, oh, JJ's a beast. I like that. I like how you know what I mean? Like, you people are just out there silently being Tetris gods, and you just don't know it until something like Tetris Effect comes out.
Yeah.
You know, or Tetris Puyo Puyo or whatever. And in this case, now you prove it. And I'm like, these latent abilities that I haven't, this sword that was hung up, you know, like a decade ago.
You never thought that, like, Tetris is, like, with a couple exceptions, you're showing off your Tetris mastery has been more or less relegated to check out this video of me clearing the invisible bullshit variation of this super hard version of Tetris, right? Yeah. But now you can go out and kill.
Yeah.
And you can kill a lot. You kill 98 people.
Yeah. I know where I'm at personally. Like, it's just like fighting games where you're like, once you know where you're at, the more you learn, the more you know how much you don't know.
I would probably say you're probably way better at Tetris than you are at any fighting game.
The thing is that I now know how much I don't know. And what that means is I know how to play the game at breakneck speed, but I'm still just playing the game.
Oh, what? All right.
I don't have setups.
Oh.
I don't have formations.
All right.
I don't have foresight. I just have next, hold, and and solving in the moment.
Fast.
Right?
Go.
People that are consistent with it, people that are actually beasts with it, understand how to see a shape by seeing the next 4 upcoming.
Yeah.
And turn it into something.
They turn it into this nice, careful, constructed little block over here.
Right.
That would work with an L or a
If
T.
you never thought about that extra list of what's coming, then you don't even know what I'm talking about.
Dude, when I play Tetris, the piece shows up and I go, oh, where?
Where?
That's me playing Tetris.
Right. So that's me at instantaneously.
Yeah.
Every single piece is where. That's all it is. Yeah. And I've just gotten used to that. But I know that to actually take it one step beyond, to go further into
lose your eyebrows.
To get white hair.
Yeah.
I need to actually memorize shapes. And you do what you do in advanced chess, right? You memorize opening patterns and formations. I have to memorize them. I have like one T-spin setup. That's the one that Min put in the thumbnail for the video that I put up on Wooly Versus. And that's basically a like sacrifice the rest of your game to just hope you get a bunch of T blocks in a row. But otherwise, yeah, it's just reactionary.
It's really fascinating because all battle royales, all of them, have, and I saw people complaining about this. The person we know that always complains, but people in Apex getting mad that they lose matches because they get killed by people who can shoot them before they're able to find a gun.
Yeah,
that's the number one complaint in all shooter battle royales. Is I couldn't find a fucking gun.
And I dived into the hot zone.
I died to a guy who had a gun.
I went to where the light was, and I thought that's where I was supposed to go.
Right? And then you look at Tetris like, oh, Tetris is all skill. Are you crazy? Tetris is completely random. Tetris is 100% luck in what comes up on that screen. Right? Am I not wrong? That what the next block is going to be? What, do they all come out in a set order? Is that what you're telling me?
The next block is based on what has not appeared.
Okay. But so, it's not set in stone, correct?
Pat, that's the wrongest it's been. No. Old Tetris, like on the Nintendo, was actually completely random, and that's why it had problems where like you could not expect a certain piece at any given time because it was pure random. You could actually never get a solid line. Yeah. Right? In this game, every piece will come eventually within a rotation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. And in a BR, there will be a certain number of guns within a radius, right?
Is that how that works?
Yeah, there's a loot pile, and there's always gonna, like in a big area.
But certain things are not like a high tier zone will have a certain amount of purples.
Yeah, it's all random rolls.
Yeah, but I imagine it's based on color, not necessarily gun type.
If in a large area, there will always be at least a couple guns.
Like, we know the Mozambique is everywhere.
Yeah.
We know Wingman is everywhere.
And lower tier shit will roll more often.
And you're not picking up a Devotion too often.
Right. So, like, say you drop in the marketplace, there's at least 2 guns in there. Guaranteed. They might be dog shit, but there's a gun. Right?
Again, I don't know BR rules, so I don't know, like, what that distro
right. My point is...
But Tetris is not random.
My point is well, it has to be to a degree. If it's not random...
It's random in the way that Smash Brothers Random Select is random, where the characters that have not been chosen will show up more often.
Right, but it's weighted.
Weighted.
Yeah.
Yes, it's weighted.
Yes. Weighted randomness is what we're talking about here, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of folks, particularly those who don't like BR, who they want to remove all randomness from things. I saw what might be the worst suggestion I've ever seen in a Twitter conversation between me and Eli, Playground, in which a guy's like, you should, in Apex, every gun and item should spawn where it spawns so that knowing the map would be more important.
Someone said that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's insane.
You ruined the game.
That game is ruined.
You ruined the game.
Because then it just becomes everyone just sprint to that one spot.
To the thing, yeah.
It's the worst. There has to be an element of like kind of a gamble, of risk.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, I imagine like maps are being introduced. Like when I learned that like, oh, these games run on one map for a very long time.
Yeah.
And then maybe they eventually introduce a second one.
It's a MOBA idea.
It's like, whoa, really? Because in every other game...
Yeah, you learn 10, 15 maps, and they add 4 more maps later, right?
Yeah.
And then the map changes on the sequel. It's a MOBA idea, and that MOBA idea comes from soccer or football. And I remember when Dota 2 was blowing up, not Dota, but Dota 2, because there was lots of new people coming in. There's all this... Where's the new maps? Why is it always the same map? And the answer that always came back is, what, you change the fucking pitch in soccer every year, too? No, the map is the fucking map. Is the field, is the play field, is the place. Now, the shooters, PUBG added a new map.
Okay, but the map the map in soccer is the map in fighting games. It's a box you're fighting in.
Yeah, exactly. And so it is in Dota.
Okay.
It is a box with very clearly defined lines and very clearly defined spots with enemies. And the layout is as least random as possible. And like similarly in Fortnite, well, Fortnite changes its map a little sometimes for their events.
Yeah.
And your PUBG and your Apex, the physical geography of the location will not change.
No, so there like the point of like that person saying that is out of their minds and doesn't understand how games work. However, the sentiment that they would come to if they probably were to work the thought further is the one we're at, where you're like, no, don't guarantee the same gun in the same place, but guarantee high quality items in the same area.
Yeah.
So that you can go there, but it's not a guarantee.
Yep.
Nothing is ever guaranteed.
Which is one of my favorite things that I really like about Apex is that you drop into an area and it says, there's decent stuff here, or there's trash here, or there's really, really good stuff here. And that one spot on the map that always has golds.
And then you have the moment of, okay, we are alone, no one else is... Wait, shit, one team's behind us. Do you guys want to stay on course or diverge?
Yeah.
Right? And then you choose to fight it out or not. But yeah, all that to say is that like in Tetris though, when you're at the top of the map, and you're playing to survive, you're playing to wait for the fucking the straight block. You know, like you're waiting for that Tetramino because you know it's going to come. You just have to stall for X pieces until it happens. Tetris 99 is the most bare bones experience in terms of how it looks and what the content is, and it's just this free thing.
Yeah,
that
you look at it, it's like it's fucking Tetris.
But that meta
Wait, it's free?
It's free.
How do they make any money off of it?
You have to be a Nintendo Online.
That's it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking big claps.
Oh, you can't sell a game like that. You need people populating those servers. You need 100 people per game. Yeah, the game's free.
Wow.
If you've got online, then yeah, that's it.
That's a value.
So ultimately, that also exactly. You're not spending any money in it on anything.
What are you gonna get? Fucking Tetris loot boxes to change the colors of the fucking whatever?
You can change your Tetris skins in other games.
Yeah, sure, but you know what I mean.
I don't want to because the colors equal things to me.
Yeah.
I know, like I see purple. I know what that is.
Yes. I see green. I see an L block.
You know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
But you mean the S anyway.
They must have changed it.
It's fine. The meta of the game has been super well thought out, and like behind the scenes, they've clearly worked out this interaction in a way. And I imagine they probably had like a group of like a couple hundred people that they went through testers with, and I imagine they kind of had like the skill levels almost numbered.
Bring in the fiends.
And then went, all right, play it this way. Let's see what happens in this game. Everyone play it that way. See what happens. You know, and so on and so forth.
It's fascinating because you take a bare bone games like that, you have all the time in the world to throw people at the meta.
Yeah, you do. And it gets right to it very quickly, but it also has a level of online interaction where it's not unlike Journey, where you're playing with strangers until the final readout. Until you see that ranking list, there's no...
Yeah.
You don't know what you're you know what I mean? Like, it's not like, oh, that I know that name, or oh, that's a... Like, sometimes you load into an Apex match, and it's like, uh-oh, the champion is a famous streamer. Right?
I have all that shit permanently turned off.
Sure.
Every single character in my game is Bangalore 1702 or
player
whatever.
gibberish number. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Though I did have an incredibly bizarre scenario where I was trying to play controller and somebody said, hey, yeah, Peeve plays with it. And I loaded into my next Apex match, and sure enough, I was on the guy's stream.
Oh, okay.
And embarrassed myself.
There you go. I like seeing fun names sometimes, so I turned them on. But yeah, while streaming, you can just cut that shit out. Because also stream sniping is a possibility that people do. And that's the one thing, too, is that, like, the guys had to explain to me, they're like, no, people will watch your stream, and they'll see your position based on, like, other people you killed. And then they'll go, oh, I'm in the same match. You know?
Well,
like the actual definition of stream sniping, which is not what I thought. Like in fighting game terms, it's like, oh, I'm going to come beast on you on your stream. In FPS terms, it's I'm literally going to use your screen to peek.
In Apex, if you don't turn that streamer mode on, it becomes trivially easy to see if you're in the same stream because your champions are.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I'm in the same.
I'm in the same game.
So it is vital that you turn that shit off.
Yeah.
I remember back when Paige was playing a game of PUBG.
Although they can probably still look at the stats and figure it out.
Paige was playing a game of PUBG, and she found out... a viewer realized they were in the same game, got into a truck, went to where she was hiding in the house, and started driving in fucking donuts around the house she was hiding in to figure out, and then drove away.
That's a fucking another level, man. Oh, wow. Anyway.
Stream trolling, yes.
Yeah.
Dark Souls stream sniping is for real as well.
Oh, because
I've streamed Dark Souls.
Dude, we know, like, the area you're walking into has the fucking things popping up. Like,
Hey, that's weird. I turned the stream on, and this place said it wasn't populated, but as soon as the stream turned on, it's like it's max population. Weird.
Yeah. My favorite version of that, of course, being Atlas games, Arxis games, where you sit down at the arcade cabinet and everyone makes a cute little lineup.
Oh, that's cool.
So fun. So.
Before we move off of Tetris 99 and Apex, did you see the updated tower chart?
Yes.
Yes. It's the best.
When you shoot your enemies, do they turn into a tower? Yes. Are you happy about it? No.
Fortnite.
Apex.
But? Yes.
Tetris?
Yes.
And?
Yes.
So good. So good.
I'm very happy that I shot that guy and he turned into a tower. It's great.
Hell yeah. So the other thing, no need to super dwell for too long on this week, but yeah, just more RE.
Yeah.
And
game's good.
You were there.
I was there. I saw it.
Got to get to the end of the first part of Leon A and make the transition to
the sewers.
To the character switch that was unexpected.
You had 20 years to learn about that character switch. Those were in the original.
To the character switch that was unexpected. And to the gameplay switch as well.
Very much so, yeah.
To the mechanics. And
that's new, for sure.
Yeah, and that's where I just started getting fucking shit on hard. Yeah. The Ada switch is where suddenly all the stuff that I figured out with Leon that I was scraping by, ultimately, I was playing fast and loose for a little bit, and then tight and high and tight.
Yeah,
afterwards,
I would say so. Yeah,
and once I got high and tight, I was then running really, really, really like dangerously close to running out of ammo
to zero. Yeah,
but the game would always have you just find that next amount.
And then they give you Ada, and Ada straight up doesn't have enough resources to deal with the stuff in her section.
So yeah. So I got through most of Leon's more or less intact, and then switching to Ada was where I'm like, oh, I completely misread what this was going to be. Mm-hmm. So those deaths occurred, and then fucking Mr.X and all that stuff, and now I fully truly get it. Like,
so I want to take a statement that you made last week. Or maybe it was on the stream.
About Mr.X?
About Mr.X to task, which is essentially that he has been memed into oblivion for you.
Yeah, I'll never be able to take him seriously.
I will never be able to take him seriously. Hard cut to you.
Guess what?
Going straight into panic attacks.
Guess what?
Yeah.
Guess who doesn't care about being taken seriously?
Mr.X.
Yeah.
like you were going into full panic every time you heard stomp, stomp, stomp.
I heard about Mr.X 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I had a very different perception of what that was. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a passive but slowly closing in threat that was there to make sure you didn't take too long playing the game. Mm-hmm. I thought it was basically like the punishment for being idle.
Yeah.
Right? I thought it was an ongoing mechanic that you'd more or less continue playing through the game at a normal pace.
Keep it in the back of your mind.
Right? It's a normal pace, but every once in a while you'll hear a little bit of music and then it'll be like, uh-oh, hurry up, right? It's your timer.
Yeah.
I thought your timer was a character.
Yeah.
It's a rolling boss fight throughout the entire police station.
Yes.
And you have seconds before he catches up to you. Mm-hmm. In many cases, that final stretch is not the back half of that like section. It's a boss fight.
Yeah. And it's a boss fight with no win.
And you just got to make it out of there
Yep.
by connecting the dots of what remaining puzzles you haven't solved yet.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very different thing. And so ultimately, I know it was
It's a little more aggressive than you anticipated.
Yeah. I expected this was going to put the fear of God into me. I mean, like I said, I mentioned, though, I'm like, yeah, I get that this is going to be a pace changer. But
I didn't expect the speed of that.
I didn't expect the speed of that pace, or the fact that it was like, oh no, he's everywhere. There's nowhere safe.
Yep.
Well, except for that
There are
one.
There are a couple rooms that he won't do.
But will he hang out outside the room?
Yes, he will.
So that you got to leave eventually.
He won't hit any safe room. He won't hit the STARS office, and he won't hit the clock tower room.
But if you are in a room with one door,
you'll have to go out eventually.
And he's there.
He'll be around.
Okay, he doesn't stand in front of the door.
In addition, people have done a wide variety of tests.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
He is always searching for you actively. He is an active presence on the map the whole time.
Yeah.
Standing still or walking, nothing. He will just have to go through his regular routine and draw and find you, right? Running causes some kind of large radius around you that if he's within, he will hear you and aim towards you and still continue his search path. Gunfire.
So his tracking gets better when you run.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of enemies in the game actually hear you by sound, not just the lickers.
Okay.
Gunfire will tell him where you are at that second, and he will go there. Now, you can move before he arrives, but shooting will cause him to show up. There was a guy I was watching that was doing like a RE2 style Mythbusters. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but he lost Mr.X on the east side of the police station, and then he hid in the library. He just stood in a corner. Took him, Mr. X 10 minutes to find him. Right? Okay, what if he went to the library, same save, same everything, ran around in a circle? Took Mr. X 4 minutes to find him. Okay? What if he shot his gun 3 times? Took Mr. X 40 seconds to arrive.
Okay.
But you are in a police station that is restocked with enemies and new areas that have enemies, so you cannot avoid firing your gun.
And he doesn't sprint ever.
No.
He never slow walks either. He has a brisk, determined pace.
He is power walking.
He's power walking, and that, I guess, it's the tracking that slows him down.
Yeah.
The peeking in and out, seeing if you're there.
If you use like a out of bounds shit, you can see him actually checking rooms.
So like he opens a door, looks inside.
No,
and then
he opens
closes
the door, moves through the room.
Okay.
Or he'll walk in and then turn around and then walk out.
Okay.
And just actively, and he does move faster when he knows where you are.
How much better is that than the Mr. X from 20 years ago?
Mr. X from 20 years ago was a pseudo-random, but not actually, boss fight that would happen 7 or 8 times. It was meant to make you feel like he was chasing you.
I remember you told me this,
but he wasn't. He was actually highly scripted.
You knew exactly where he was.
And the reason why it felt like he was chasing you is because he never showed up in the A scenario. But now in the B scenario, you're going through an area, bam, through a wall. Bam, through a wall. There he is, over and over and over.
So him showing up here at all is
he is
surprise.
much closer to Nemesis now. Nemesis used to travel through rooms after you. Mr. X original did not. You hit a door and he's gone.
Okay.
He is fascinating to me as a piece of game design, as just like fucking move. No, go. No, this is an unkillable enemy.
Well, this is a game that represents a very small number of chess pieces that are very, very, very highly detailed for like AI and pathing and behavior. Like you're less than 20 assets in terms of like characters and enemies. Yeah,
zombies have a thing where their heads and their torsos and can be somewhat mixed, right? So there's the fat zombie, then there's the fat zombie that's a black guy, and then there's that version of the zombie, but he's not fat, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So they mix and match. There's maybe 12 total zombie
zombie
variations.
types. Yeah. So
there's one liquor type. There's
a
one
dog
type. There's one later enemy.
Sure, there's Mr.X. There's you know what I mean. Then you have
but
FMV
their
monsters.
behavior is all super intricate.
Yeah. So you're looking at a really low number, but they're really, really highly like developed, and not a lot of games do that. So that's really cool. That's really interesting. That's the most interesting thing I'd say. Most games have, you know,
wide variety of enemy types to do one thing.
One thing, right? Character action games will have a mixture of both.
Yeah.
They'll have a wide variety of enemy types that do one thing, but they'll also
do two things.
But occasionally include an enemy type that is a very specific, detailed encounter. You know, it'll have boss fights.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that was really interesting.
I just love the idea of dropping a boss fight that you can't win on you when you're trying to play the rest of the game. And the Mr.X sections last about half hour, maybe 45 minutes.
Felt faster.
It took about half hour, 45 minutes. And same thing for me. They're perfectly paced.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like an hour, 2 hours. That would be too much, right? That'd be outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
And they only drop it on you once you become familiar with the area you're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic.
I feel like the Ada sections became actual puzzles.
Yes.
Which I really, like I said, did not expect. And the fail state is quite instantaneous. It's like,
hey, you died.
Did you not solve the thing? Did you not start solving the thing right away?
Yeah, Claire has a similar section where it's a stealth section. And it's the same thing. Do you know the solution? Good. You're done in like a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not know the solution? Die.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
On replay, those sections are like so fast. There's no variability in them at all.
Exactly. So that's why ultimately I'm like, I don't feel too robbed by that. Like I tried to outsmart the game in points where I'm like, oh, turn that door off and it'll shut, and it's like, no, that's not what that was. That was the solution. You're like, oh, okay, guess I'll die.
Yeah. You don't have enough room to move around in that section.
Though I did manage to shuffle around that desk real nice.
Oh, that's what you do.
You know, so
that's why that's there.
Okay.
There's a certain point in the game where if you've played it a couple times, Mr.X becomes kind of hilarious because you can loop him around desks. Mm-hmm. Like forever, because he's not faster than you. You're actually quite a bit faster than he is.
Right. Of course, I also know that dogs are always gonna fuck me up. I at this point,
you need to be highly accurate to hit them.
At this point, like I'm like lickers have done me less damage than dogs have.
Yeah.
Dogs and groups are a problem. Mm-hmm. You know, and I feel like I'm gonna. Probably, now that I've got the mag, just spend that shotgun bullet.
Knifing lickers to death is real satisfying.
I imagine, but I'm so scared of that.
Yeah, it's scary.
How many swings you got to take on that?
15.
And then, but once it's active,
basically the deal is that you sneak up on them and you slice them in the head. That will cause a stun. Every time you slice them in the head,
you keep
it causes
slicing
a
the
stun.
head. Okay.
But they won't like move their position.
Okay.
So you just got to time it right and just slash.
Okay. Yeah.
Saves a shit ton of ammo.
I imagine. Yeah. 5 shotgun shells, you know. Fair enough. So that's cool. Anything for you?
Played RE2 Ghost Survivors.
Mm-hmm.
This is a free LC that came out for Resident Evil 2 alongside the hilarious 98 costumes where you turn Leon and Claire into polygonal fucking abominations. Ghost Survivors is what if scenarios. What if Kendo survived? What if Elizabeth Warren survived? What if Ghost survived?
Elizabeth Warren?
She's a character from...
Seriously?
What? No, that's the wrong one. What's her name? The Mayor Warren's daughter. Kathleen? What's her fucking name?
I have no idea, but there's a politician named Elizabeth Warren.
That was a fucking weird brain fart.
Kathleen?
I forget her fucking... Karen? I forget.
Catherine,
there you go. Catherine Warren. And What If Ghost Survived, which is one of Hunk's teammates. They are essentially 12 to 15 minute enemy gauntlets that are super fucking tough. And each of them introduces a new enemy type not seen in the base game, which is actually fairly interesting. And they have these weird segments where there's zombies with backpacks, and you kill the zombies and they drop loot.
Huh.
And then there are fucking Pez dispensers that you pick one item out of.
Does karma still apply to those modes?
Karma?
The
Oh, no, they are set.
Because I was gonna say, like, if you shoot a zombie and it doesn't pop.
No, they are locked at some difficulty level.
Okay.
Because they are tough.
Okay.
And they each take place in a different area. And they're a lot of fun. There's a fourth unlockable one, which is playing as the sheriff from the gas station. And it's kill 100 invading zombies of all the different enemy types in the gas station.
Jesus Christ.
And it's fucked.
That's nuts.
The
bodies all stack on each other?
No, they just explode.
Okay.
And remove them.
Okay.
But it's really cool. It's very short. I beat the whole thing in like 2 hours. I didn't beat the last one. I'm not even going to bother. It's pretty cool. Nothing crazy about it. It's a nice little extra. I hope there's, like, the new enemy types they added in particular. I really hope that if and when they add a randomizer to the main game, that they roll those enemy types in. Because it's zombies that explode with poison when they die. It's zombies that are regenerators. They're just regenerators. They regenerate super fast, and you have to destroy them quickly. And then there's special forces members that turn into zombies, so their like head or chest and arm are all armor plated, so you have to shoot their arm or leg.
All of that, and I tell you what, I still don't miss Las Plagas. Those the way they'd pop. Yeah, that was like. I mean, I eventually think, did I ever? No, it was always a trouble. It was always a trouble when it was like, God damn it, you had to be one of them, didn't you? And then they start fucking. And
yeah.
Like, yeah.
And there's the one that had the instant kill. That one wasn't great.
Yeah. I don't like that face you're making.
What?
The face that says, I know things.
About RE4? Yeah, I do.
No, I don't know what's coming.
That's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about RE4.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I'm remembering older conversations. I know I still have yet to encounter some sort of plant asshole.
That's correct.
We'll see what happens.
That enemy was completely changed. It has no bearing in any way to its old variation in the old games.
Which I have no info on anyway.
Yeah. They were literally fucking plants. They were like ferns that
would good. That
would like spit at you.
Do they look like green herbs?
No.
Oh.
That'd be silly. But whatever. The game is silly. On top of that, this morning I woke up early and I was like, fuck it, and played like 3-4 hours of Guacamelee 2.
Cool.
Yo, that game's soundtrack is amazing.
Always was.
Well, did you play the second one?
No.
The first one was really good. The second one is amazing.
Okay.
It's wow. Second one feels great. There's a bunch of new chicken powers. The story is really good so far. They turned down the meme shit from the original.
Multiplayer or single player?
4 players.
Yeah. What did you play?
Oh, dude, it's just fucking 5 a.m. I'm playing single player.
Okay.
Game's great.
Yeah.
Did you like Guacamelee?
Yeah.
Guacamelee 2 is the shit.
Yeah. I made soft plans to play that.
That game's awesome.
Probably gonna record it. Probably gonna record that. Yeah.
The fucking intro to that game is it's the final boss fight from the first game. And then fucking what's his name, mariachi skeleton asshole goes, what is a luchador? A miserable little pile of secrets.
Sure.
And it's like, you assholes.
Yeah. When did it come out?
Like a little while ago, a couple months ago.
Okay. Thought I was keeping an eye on that, but I guess not. But yeah, I hope the skin still works from the old game.
The woolly skin?
The woolly skin.
Probably doesn't. They might need to make a new one.
Oh, or I could just, use Chie.
They really pushed the Mexaverse aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you familiar with the setup of the game?
Of 2, no.
Of 2 is that everything's great for Juan and the family, but then shit's going down in the darkest timeline. So the game is taking place in the darkest timeline in the Mexiverse.
Okay.
It's fucking dumb.
Combat improvements?
There's more skills to learn, and the chicken has its own combat tree now.
Sick.
Feels good. I beat the first one. I don't remember purple enemies or white enemies. And they're here now, and it's an interesting diversion. Every single enemy encounter I fought, there have been very few that are like, just fucking fight the dudes! They've either been, here's a new enemy type, or the environment's kind of weird, or utilize the levels puzzle gimmick while fighting these enemies. Like, they've all been, like, distinct combat rooms that have, like, some kind of twist on them. It's pretty great.
Cool. Yeah, I really want to try that.
I'm very interested in seeing another Drinkbox game as soon as possible. They're great.
Although they took their time here.
Yeah, it's like...
Although, don't forget about Severed.
I will always forget about Severed because I'm never going to play it. Never.
It was a decision.
Yeah.
It happened.
Yeah. That's pretty much it for me. I played a bunch of Apex.
Cool.
I played some Guacamelee.
Yeah, I also got some more ink time in, so I'm in tattoo recovery mode because I want to say we're at a solid 55%.
This is quite the endeavor.
I'm gonna say I'm about 55% of the way through. Oh no,
Wooly!
All my deliciousness just fell.
All your delicious Red Bulls fell down. The nectar of the gods.
Let me place that back where it needs to go.
We have to drink those so that we're good at esports.
All right. Well then, I hit the top area, right high spine coming up to the neck, and there was with the wide brush for some thick outlines. So that was a second. I'm just good time.
Get up while you talk and get another of these delicious nectars from the fridge.
Sure thing. So the interesting thing about the tattoo bit is obviously the size of it makes a huge difference in terms of how much you feel it, how much it tingles.
That's what she said.
But you pretty much, this is one of those times where you sit down, and because you know the moment that it's going to start, you're really, really waiting for your body to kick in those good old chemicals, that good old endorphin, to get you naturally high, basically.
Yeah.
You're waiting for it. Like, this is one of those times where you actually straight up, like, fucking, like, you're expecting it any minute now, and when it kicks in, you're like, there it is, we're good to go, you know? But slow but steady progress is happening, and I'm very excited to finally reveal that when it's done, but only if it's at the top of the Millennium Building
Tower.
I'm doing it.
The real test, Wolves, is you have to learn. I think I said this to you before. Last time your tattoo came up, you have to learn to be able to grab the bottom of your shirt.
Yeah.
Right underneath your waistband.
It's like.
And yank your whole shirt and jacket off in one motion.
No, it's not going to be cool. Like, I'm going to fucking whatever, let's fight. And then I got to, like... And then...
Now, listen, you don't... Hey.
There you go.
Keep that shirt on. This is a No Nipples podcast.
But either way, it's like, that took, like, fucking 7 seconds.
Yeah. You know, the only solution is that you have to go up in the elevator shirtless. Just step out shirtless.
Well, you can put the coat over your shoulders
and then shrug it off.
Yeah,
that's good.
You can do that.
That's good.
You know, that'll make it not embarrassing. I know Kyo Kusanagi has a win pose where he does the same thing. He pulls the white jacket off by grabbing it by the shoulder, and it just comes off of his sleeves and then is on his back. And
Shut up, it's cool.
Rock Howard, right? Rock Howard, where he throws it up and goes, "Adayo," and like it fucking just rips it off his body, and you're like,
Grandpa Simpson takes his underwear off, just pulls them right out. Doesn't take his pants off.
Anyway,
Grandpa, how'd you do that? I don't know.
Well, if you're interested in catching up on those RE2 adventures, you can tune in. Wooly Versus has the archives, and Wooly Versus on YouTube will have the videos going up alongside the other things currently coming out, including...
Before you continue,
yeah,
I'm somewhat curious how those videos are being released. Are you just like chopping the whole thing up, or are you doing the highlight thing?
So I was going to do the highlight thing, like I do with most of the stream stuff. And then Solidus, who's taking care of basically all the editing, was like, people really want this to be like more so intact than other things.
Okay.
So you should...
Because I saw 2 go up, and I'm like, oh, this didn't get very far.
Yeah. So my thing with the streams was that I was going to do just highlights. And Solidus was basically like, I think you should...
So
it should be this way.
It's a stream being edited into an LP.
It's a stream being edited, exactly. It's this weird hybrid thing. And I don't like the part where... Because I have things set up in a way where if you see the Wooly Versus show, that means you know it's a stream highlight. And if you see Wooly Versus a thing, you know that it's an LP. So it's a little bit not clear, and I don't like that aspect of it. But I do fully agree that it's a good idea that like most people want to see most of that, as opposed to... the full 5 hours cut down. To
I just dumped the whole archive on my channel because I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But there are a couple like series that I took the time to also upload a edited down version. The one that I did the last was my last run through of Resident Evil 2, the original.
Right.
So that, hey, do you want to just blow through this playlist in 2 hours? Fucking do it.
So, the game plan has been like after. So it condenses the episodes to the moments that whatever, like the more or less the full experience, and then the conversations and the stuff that happens between are called like intermission episodes, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So he's kind of putting those together so that we can have all our discussions in another.
That's
thing.
Cool.
So it's a really good idea. I was like, okay, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. It's better than what I was thinking. So.
Solidus knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
The Patriots, yada yada.
Not that GW though.
Man, Metal Gear's so fucking dumb. Now that it's dead and we're off of it, wow, some of that shit was stupid.
I love it.
Yeah, me too.
I love all of it. Even the worst parts that everyone hates, I still love them.
There's a moment back in
I look back on that whole franchise and smile.
There's an old Giant Bomb cast that makes me smile because it's where Dan Reichert, possibly the dumbest motherfucker on the planet, hates anime. Why? Because he doesn't know what anime is. He's closed-minded, right? But he loves Metal Gear. And someone posits to him, Metal Gear is like the most anime shit ever, right? He goes, no, it's spies and guns and cool magic. And it's like, yeah, like anime. And he has like a fucking whole mental breakdown.
Was he going on the early 90s definition of it where it was Ninja Scroll, Ghost in the Shell, and Dragon Ball?
I don't even know.
Because that's possible. It
can't be anime because it's in the real world.
If basically it's like your window is manga entertainment.
Yeah. Metal Gear's the most anime shit ever.
Was he on the Persona hardcore run?
No.
Okay. Endurance run, I think.
No, he came in after that.
Okay. So I was saying, so if you want to tune in for RE2, plus the other ongoings, which currently consist of the stream archives of words just suddenly flew out of my brain.
Doing a good job.
Get into fighting games, and then Wooly versus games and stuff. Plus, me and Reggie playing currently Jet Set Radio. Fun times on that, and Zone of the Enders with Min, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with Volta Base. You can check that out on Wooly
Volta
versus.
Put up a fucking combo video for DMC5's demo like an hour ago?
No, I didn't.
It's baller as shit.
Hell yeah.
I didn't know he was so good at it.
Sick. Yo, Volta's...
He's doing that shit where you like jump cancel Nero's air swing 10 times into itself.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
To do. Yeah.
Like,
no, absolutely. That's how you become a style beast. You got to get that jump cancel going.
Yeah, I'm bad at that.
It's actually extremely forgiving.
I know, but I have OCD.
Sure.
I have to do everything the right way.
It was really once the chat pointed out like the game has made enemy step easier than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Then you can just press it anywhere near them and it works and you're like, "Oh fuck, you get your moves back."
I look at that game and I see so much time. Like I think about how I felt Nero and how I love Nero. Nero's my favorite Devil May Cry player, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all the little changes, I'm like, oh, this is like twice as good as the 1 and 4. And I don't even have the full move list, right? And I look at like, oh wow, all the work that should have been done on Dante in 4 has now been done to him on 5. I'm going to use Gunslinger. Charges the gun by itself? Holy shit!
Yeah.
You know?
Although now we know how Nero's gun charging works, it's at like Dante's Gunslinger having that type of love is probably just going to be like.
And then Dante drinks
amazing.
his coffee and bullets just ricochet right off of him when he's in Guatemala doing the fucking documentary.
Dude, like, I guess if you can't laugh at it, then what else?
He posted on Twitter a fucking bullet he pulled out of the car with the quote, good thing I drank my bulletproof coffee this morning.
And then in the video where they're looking at the car, Ruben's like, I got a Devil May Cry party to go to. I can't have
Woo-hoo,
this
pizza!
Oh my!
So for those of you who don't know, Ruben Langdon, the voice actor.
Well, I guess we're into the news
yeah,
now.
Whatever. And Dante man got big shot at in Guatemala. In his car.
Apparently.
Wait, are we going straight to news for real right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I also do streams.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/AngrySpat. I don't know what I'm gonna stream this week. I'm gonna finish off Leon A Hardcore. And I'm oscillating between playing Metro Exodus or just going through another run of Bloodborne. I don't know. Let me know, idiots.
Mm-hmm.
Now back to Ruben Langdon being dope and crazy. He's nuts.
Yeah.
He's super tinfoil hat fucking nuts.
You know what? I'm gonna put a bullet point.
No, don't.
I'm gonna put a bullet point to bring up later on in the stream about scheduling stuff. But yes, it is. It has come to my attention that, like, despite the dangers of Guatemala that I thought there were, it turns out it's even currently more dangerous than it was when I last heard about it.
spot.
And that there are areas where they basically have like an official warning sign with Koichi on it, doing the "boah" from JoJo, holding a little traveler's case, and they're like, if you're traveling to Guatemala, here's what you need to know. And it's basically just this massive list of like, don't fucking talk to that person. Don't do this. Don't look over that. Don't. And it's just crazy. Like, here's how you act safe. Be fucking head on a swivel the entire time. It's really, really nuts how many things are on that list of like, be wary. You can come here and it's a great place, but just keep in mind all these dangers.
There's an ongoing joke about certain countries. I think Volta made it. About where he's from. It's like, it's a PvP zone.
Yeah, it's a PvP zone. Wow. Jesus. Yeah.
You walk in and the tag above your head turns red.
I mean, so I'm curious to know. It's like it seemed like they're filming some sort of documentary. It seems like it was some sort of project about specifically reaching out to troubled areas.
Well then.
Right? I don't know.
That area reached back out.
Yeah, I don't know if it was driving into a favela type thing that we discussed.
That's Brazil only, I think.
Okay. Well, the equivalent.
Yeah. Every country has their particular brand of shithole.
But that's where the insanity peppers came from.
Yes.
So we need to keep in mind that a particular brand of insanity might follow.
Is this a PR stunt for Capcom's next Battle Royale game?
Come on.
What?
Come on. You didn't see that.
What?
You didn't see that.
See what?
You didn't. No one wrote that.
No? What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, man. That's insane and fucking like frustrating to think like just circumstance almost like it hit the seat, man.
It hit the seat and I think the wheel in front of him. Like as as like it hit.
This
on
could
either
have been
sides.
a really fucking tragic story for nothing.
Oh yeah.
For fucking nothing.
Well, I mean, shit happens all over the place. People get shot and killed in all sorts of horrible ways.
They do.
All over
They
the place.
do.
But they weren't our anime boy in our video game that we like. So who cares?
It sucks, but I'm really glad to hear that he's okay. And imagine if, like, God, you know, how fucking, like, the entire hype train would derail and fucking just become, like, DMC5 would have a completely
then
different...
it would become incredibly bizarre, because what if Dante's sections are terrible, but you can't say that anymore?
I mean, there's a million things that you're just, you know, you suddenly would change if that were a worse situation. So... Fucking,
you gotta
thank God.
You need to get the fucking Tupac hologram and Paul Walker's digital ghosts and fucking jam them into the ending. And I'll walk off in the sunset with Hatsune Miku.
No, he already drove into hell. He's not going to drive again. But anyway.
Don't worry, in one universe, everything is canon. You don't know which version of Ruben Langdon got sent to Nocturne.
The human being?
Yeah. Featuring Ruben Langdon from the Don't Make Cry series.
And then the demi-fiend looks at him and goes...
You're cool, get in.
Okay. I'm in the party now.
Nailed it.
Boy. Yeah.
I'm sorry, these chemtrails are throwing me off today.
Contrails.
No. I said what I said. Follow the money.
To Guatemala?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hollow Knight, Silksong.
This is the best ever.
Nobody expected it.
They were like, hey, we got like liars right to the end in the best way, the Ed Boon way.
Everyone was primed for DLC
Because they said it would be DLC, and then everyone's
they said it would be,
and then everyone's like, this is taking a really long time. And then they said, don't worry, guys, we're gonna have more on the oh god, what they call it, the fucking a Hornet campaign or Hornet DLC on Thursday or whatever. And then they drop the trailer and you're watching the trailer, and then at the end of the trailer it's the second game by Team Cherry, a whole new game. It's a full game. It's a real whole sequel to Hollow Knight. It's not a DLC, it's a sequel.
Do you think that feature creep eventually just became a fuck it?
They have actually specifically said that is exactly what happened.
Yeah, okay.
It was supposed to be a side DLC, and they're like, what about a new enemy here? What about an area here?
Right.
And then they got like probably
that was a running dick.
halfway through, and we're like, oh crap, we've made a sequel.
Because they can't stop working, because this team won't stop.
Should be noted, Team Cherry is 3 people.
Their ethic
Down in Australia.
That's incredible. Yeah,
Now,
some of these
Wooly.
bosses and so on look unbelievable. The gameplay implications look super different.
Hornet's so mobile.
Yeah.
You never get anything approaching that mobility with the Hollow Knight.
And you already know her moveset.
Yeah. Get good.
Yeah.
Oh man, it looks so good. Everything about it looks so good.
It's just the fact that like they have Sakurai-esque work ethic, you know?
Hollow Knight is now that I felt this way when I beat it, and now I'm far enough away that I feel confident in saying it. Hollow Knight is easily one of the best games I've ever played.
Mm-hmm.
It is right there in top 10 without like it's right next to Chrono Trigger and shit like that.
Wow. I should probably fucking actually.
And I'm gonna
close
throw
that
down
book.
the gauntlet to you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get that true ending,
Mm-hmm.
not the gods and glory shit. Fuck that. I demand that you beat that path of pain.
Oh, the super challenging thing?
The Meat Boy.
Okay. Is there
that will be training for this
because of what awaits in it, or because it's just worth it to do it?
It's the shit.
Okay.
It's Path of Pain is the most fun I had with that game because it's all the good platforming goodness in that game, and because you know how the main game gives you all these platforming abilities, but they don't actually require it.
It's from time to time.
Whoa, they push that shit to the limit with Path of Pain.
Yeah, so this is probably one of the coolest bamboozlings we've had in recent years.
Accidental sequel.
Where the dev lies for the best reason and then fucking just goes, oops, a full game.
No details other than some vagaries, a completely new area, obviously.
And I'll tell you what,
no release date even hinted at.
I'll tell you what, like, saying an entirely new kingdom really makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Because whatever, paint the cross, not the cross, paint the fucking crosshair on me, but it's it was a lot of time spent in that one.
Yeah.
And there's more for me to go back and do. So this is really, really nice to know that it's not the same area again, because it's more exciting to experience new things.
I think the most exciting thing about the fact that it's a new area, and if you didn't get too far into the game or didn't do the lore thing with by the way, Mossbag does good videos on this. The most exciting thing about that game is the hit sparks coming off the enemies aren't orange. They all have like white tufts of hair coming off as you hit them hit spark. And that means that this game is just 100% its own thing. Has shit to do with anything that happened in Hollow Knight. And that's super cool.
Yeah. I expect if this started as a DLC that the map is going to be significantly smaller.
But
I expect these guys have no trouble making a 15-hour experience if they want to.
I actually expect the map to be significantly larger, if only because of Hornet's traversal being more powerful than the Knight's. Right? I don't mean larger in terms of content. I mean like just literally physically larger.
Could be.
Because she can book it, man.
Could be. I wonder if it's actually comparable, Maybe they got up to that point where it was and they said, you know what? Yeah, let's just treat it this way. And also, let's make some money. Although not all of it, because if you backed the original Kickstarter game, you're getting it for free. So this was originally a DLC thing, so you're going to get it as you would have gotten it as a DLC as a backer, but it's the sequel instead. But everyone else can buy it, and they can actually get a little cash injection for all their hard work.
Now that I know about Hollow Knight and Team Cherry, I'm going to push this shit real fucking hard when this is about to come out.
Yeah.
They have a sterling track record of they put out one game. It's one of the best games of all time. Wooly, I am not nearly as well rehearsed as you are in Metroid. I don't know exactly how we stand on Castlevania. I think we're about the same.
Castlevania, you probably played way more than I have.
What on Metroid? Where's this sit?
Like, as in comparing the versus Metroid
into the all? No, I mean like all the greats. I mean the series. Like it's in there, right? It's up there.
I need to complete the true ending first.
Okay, but as of right now.
As of right now, it's up there. It's very good.
Because for me, this dominates like almost
But you've never liked Metroid.
Yeah, no, that's why I'm comparing it to Castlevania. This beats almost every Castlevania.
Yeah, I need to see the rest of what's there, but like this is definitely a very, very, very good Metroidvania.
I would say that it's actually much better designed than Symphony of the Night, which is my favorite, but it came out 15 years later, so that that's not really fair.
I like the systems. I like the boss fights. I like the expansive map. I like the world changing, the atmosphere, the characters, the story,
It's just so complete.
Yeah.
And then Hornet yells at you to get good.
Yeah. The only thing is that I got more than I bargained for. I wasn't ready for that much. And in a world where I was not as busy as I was, I would celebrate that. But because I'm as busy as I am, I didn't. That's the only thing I have.
That game went on for straight up twice as long as I thought it was going to.
Yeah. And depending on your life circumstances, that's an amazing thing, or maybe not an amazing thing. It just depends.
I was streaming it at the time, and everybody was happy to see it, so it worked out really well for me.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, there's more Hollow Knight streams to do. Great.
Yeah. If you're not, I was explaining this to Steph the other day, but it's like, if you're not buying games that often, that's a fucking cost time investment.
Hey, do you not own Hollow Knight? Do you own a Switch? Probably the best game on the Switch. Get it.
Time to money investment is high.
Like both from a critical and value perspective, fucking A+.
Yeah.
I'd put it over like some of the fucking Souls games in that feeling. Like that game is the shit.
How much is in that final back end in terms of like your love?
Not that much.
Okay.
The Carnival DLC is cool, but it's an addition.
Okay.
It adds a super boss. The Gods and Glory DLC, I actually fairly dislike. I don't care for it. The final boss is super cool and a great fight, but like the aspect of that game that resonates with me is scrubbing that map and falling into the fucking deep nest and going into the sewers and all that shit.
I feel as if I've been playing Hollow Knight for a very long time.
Yeah.
I feel as if I've played 3 games and Hollow Knight has kind of been a staple.
Yeah.
That's how much content I feel like I went through.
So good.
I feel like I went through 3 games back to back that blurred into one.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, Hollow Knight 4 just got announced.
No, Hollow Knight 4, 5,
5
and
and
6
6
got announced. If we're going to use the Okami numbering system.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. Exactly. Wow with that. So that's fucking rad.
Oh, you know what? White Palace adds an entire point to the scale for me. It's one of the areas that you missed.
Okay.
White Palace is exemplary. It's amazing. It's one of the best levels I've ever played.
Okay. So we have live updates.
But
first we'll introduce the original story.
Live.
The rumor mill is a churning, and I'm not a fan of bringing up rumors as docket stories.
Yeah.
For future reference, I rather wait for content. I've made the mistake before. I don't remember what, but we got burned on something, and I was like, you know what? How about we not just bring up rumors? How about we actually
put some penicillin on it?
Do that. But right now, depending on, I guess, the significance of the rumor, let's put it that way. That'll be what determines it.
Yeah, if there's a rumor that says, I don't know, Microsoft is burning down, yeah, we'll comment on that.
If it says the PS4 or PS5 will be PS4 compatible,
or it's out right now,
then sure. And in this case, if they say something like Nintendo might be reviving a dead and buried game,
yes,
then we're gonna bring it up.
A famously or very officially or well known. What's the quote on that?
The quote in particular, if I can just get to it.
It's a weirdly phrased one.
And it's not the only piece of news that came out of that same source, actually. It says here that rumor Nintendo is going to revive a very officially canceled game that no one would expect.
Project Hammer.
Let me hint at something, I guess, says Imran Khan. This is a thing that I'm going to write up about at some point, but as soon as I get more sources on it. But there's a game that's thought to be dead that Nintendo's reviving, and it's not one that people would expect. It's very much little to do. It was very much a title that was dead and buried, very officially canceled. So
that's Project Hammer.
There's the follow-up article that's hot, right?
Tell me about this hotness.
Where an expansion on this rumor says that Scalebound is scheduled to be resurrected as a Switch exclusive.
How? Actually, how? How does Microsoft not own the dead pieces of that?
I literally do not know. Maybe it's their newfound online friendship. Maybe it's their newfound XDK X cross online Switch
it's
friendship.
Possible fucking Platinum made a deal that if the game didn't come out, they'd own the shit.
I have no
whatever,
idea.
you know.
This is fucking baffling, but we all know that Nintendo and Platinum are good friends.
They're BFFs, man.
They're hanging out. So that's what the rumor mill is churning out right now, and I don't know if that makes any sense. There might be another franchise entirely.
Monster Hunter passed the Switch over. You guys are real mad, huh?
It might be, but we don't know. And then the other part of that story was that what was it? The Kingdom Hearts 3 discussion did occur.
Yeah.
And that apparently Kingdom Hearts 3 was discussed as a thing where they're like, can this be on the Switch? And then the answer was a definitive no.
There's like, if you've seen that game, the answer is hell no. There's no way.
And then what did they talk about?
That game is pushing that engine to the fucking limit.
Last I heard, there was talk between Nintendo and Square Enix about what they could do with Kingdom Hearts 3. Deemed unfeasible to get Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Switch. It's very demanding on even though Switch supports Unreal Engine 4, it's a very demanding game and not necessarily one you can put out without paring down a lot.
They'd have to cut a lot of shit.
Unsure if the remasters are actively being worked on, but that's probably where they settled on it. So that was being discussed. This is all rumor mill. And sometimes the rumor mill churns out nothing. But the idea of fucking
that's wild.
Scalebound is just, where do you even what?
That's big wild.
Yeah, it's nutso. That's huge nutso. So yeah, that's what I saw there. And that was Imran Khan on the Kinda Funny podcast, I believe, is what the source was. And they're waiting for extra sources, so we'll see. But if Scalebound does come back, and we're getting, what the fuck? What's it even called? What is it called? What is it called?
What, I need something more than the nothing.
Platinum Games cops with chains on them?
Demon shit. No, wait. Cop stands.
Cop stand chain? Chain?
Astral chain.
Astral chain.
Astral chain, the cop stands.
We're getting Astral chain in a hot minute. And
boy, are those just obviously stands. Like, wow. They even point and do a pose. Like, it's ridiculous.
I like them.
Cop stands.
I like my police with stands. That's a cool idea.
I stand this. Nailed it.
They're fucking... And then you got the Raven, which is the red one.
Which is clearly evil.
That cannot be controlled.
Oh, shit.
Maybe cops with stands might not be all roses. But as a video game by Platinum Games, this looks fucking sick. Design and everything is absolutely doing the thing.
I'm just thinking a Darby Jr. would actually be a great cop. Did this guy do it?
Apparently, yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. Apparently, this game is, what was they okay, being overseen by Kamiya in the credits. And the character design is by the guy that did Video Girl I and a couple of other notable creations over the years. So Platinum just hot announcing this Astral Chain thing at the Nintendo Direct.
Reminder,
looks super sick.
Kamiya's favorite JoJo is Joseph. A good pick. It's almost like these stands are connected by a hermit purple to your cop.
Zetman. There you go. That's the other one he did.
Think about it.
Yep. So, Astral Chain's looking super dope. And honestly, if Switch just becomes the platinum console,
That's fine.
right? Who's gonna complain about like, oh, we got Bayo 3 Astral Chain and Scalebound?
Okay.
Like, fuck.
Oh, here's a Wonderful 101 port coming in hot.
Yeah. Not to mention Daemon X Machina and all that other cool shit. Gotta get around for that. I hope
they got the red asshole in that game to be voiced by Char. It's so obvious.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
I love it. I was I do. It would be really cool if they did Port 101. I don't think it'll happen, but it would really be cool.
I think they should. I think that would be a good idea. And they said they want to do it.
Are there other things that need it first?
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Definitely not Skyward Sword. That's for damn sure.
What if they just made Wonderful 102 instead?
Fine. And it's a port. With slightly different controls and added content.
Sure. Yeah, Astral Chain, man. So there's that. What else are we looking at? We are looking at the other announcement from the Nintendo Direct, which had a fucking rad-ass introduction. There was finally seeing an animated version of like that classic Zelda art style with the Link's Awakening remake. I'd be so down for a Netflix that was basically this anime.
Yeah.
You know? Not gonna get it. Not gonna happen. Sounds like we were close. But the opening of the Link's Awakening trailer is basically like Link at sea, and it looks like the artwork from the original game, and I would fucking eat it up. I would love it. But it ain't happening.
Game also has a fairly unique, kind of cool, like, toy art style.
It looks like toys. It does look like toys.
And I dig it. And I'm seeing people who don't like it, and all I can think of, like, oh, Wind Waker again.
It's Wind Waker again, yeah.
Again, yeah. Okay, we now have like a very like defined standard.
You either like it or you're
it looks like a baby game. I hate it. You know.
Yeah, at this point, I want to say Zelda has more cute games than serious ones. If you count all the handhelds. Think about it.
I don't. Yeah.
There's
a lot of good handheld Zeldas.
There's more.
Minish Cap's the shit.
There are more cute versions of Link than there are serious ones. Unless you count the age of the old ones, I suppose. Because the old ones are kind of like, you know, they would have been serious at the time, perhaps.
If they could have.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that fucking Twilight Princess trailer, while cool, like, fucking ruined that shit forever with that blades will bleed fucking tag.
What's
you remember that shit? Twilight Princess, shields will shatter, blades will bleed.
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, it's fucking serious Zelda, bro.
The one with the horizon and the war? That was awesome. What are you talking about?
But it's set up like, good, Zelda's gonna be fucking cool now again. It's gonna be fucking metal. It's like, no.
It was still cool.
No, you're not. You're literally understanding the opposite of what I'm saying.
I think I am. Let's try it again.
Yes, it was super cool.
Yes.
But it set up the expectation for many that we were done with those baby art styles forever after Wind Waker.
I see. Yeah, I didn't get that impression.
Yeah.
That's not what I felt when I saw that. I just thought it was, this game has this.
Oh, I didn't feel that when I saw it. I felt that when, like, Wind Waker HD came out, actually. And the fucking, this game looks like shit again happened. But it was a lot quieter this time.
I did not hear it at all when HD came out.
Oh, it was a lot quieter this time.
Like, the only time I remember this was the first time Wind Waker came out. And then after it got into everyone's hands, they went, this game's amazing. Except for that fucking ending part.
Yeah, oh boy.
And then the when HD came around, I heard no complaints.
Never put it past me to be able to find negativity on the internet.
Fair enough. Blades will bleed, but like imps will fucking cause unexpected boners, and people will get confused.
I don't know. We talking about Imp Midna or like Endgame Midna?
I said what I meant, didn't I?
Endgame Midna's hot AF, man. She's fucking hot as shit.
Oh, did her beauty make you speechless? Yeah.
No, I was like, oh, why couldn't I play with that one the whole game instead of this fucking weird troglodyte fucking troll piece of shit?
The one that got all the fan art?
Fuck that. Fuck that crap. That's weird.
The one that Minerva minked an entire generation of people?
That's fucked up. It's like a little tiny troll person.
I'm telling you.
I don't get it.
I'm telling you.
I don't get it.
Nah, dude. Nah.
Minerva Mink, that's some wholesome degeneracy right there. That's a blonde lady with some fucking nice assets. She got like a little animal nose. Boop.
She's wearing clothes.
Yeah.
Mid does not.
And you see, there's nothing. There's nothing there.
That doesn't stop them, Pat.
Oh, man. I don't get it.
The power of the pen.
I'm old, man.
A stack of the short variety.
Oh, fuck off.
That's what I'm just saying.
As a short stack myself. All right. Y'all can get fucked.
I think it's like.
Is it just because of the big orange hand?
No, it's that. It's not. It's everything. It's honestly, it's not. I think it's because of the fang and the like. You know, you throw like the fang on like the like tee hee hee kind of troublemaker like character.
Yeah.
And then you put the fucking wide hips on it for some reason, and then it just goes. And it's also whipping you around and bossing you and being.
So it is the big hand thing.
And it's being soon as fuck. So ultimately, it just It happened.
That's one of those things that if I hadn't been told, I would have literally never considered that. And then but I should know better.
Yeah, if Nintendo had been told, they never would have considered it either. But that's not how we got here, and now we have to deal with our consequences.
Because I remember getting to the end of Twilight Princess and be like, "Fucking Zelda, out of the way!"
Yeah,
to the Twilight realm with me.
That's correct. But some people would just say, yeah, give or take the transformation or leave it. Some folks were just like, that's all. Later, Zelda. You're third. Between Midna.
Oh, man, come on.
No, don't forget Ash is in the game as well.
Which one's she?
Ash is one of the cool hunters that helps you from Telma's bar.
I completely forget that character.
There's NPCs in the game that are also awesome.
What about that bug chick? The fucking idiot with the parasol.
Or that really handsome man with the white dreadlocks from Kakariko.
Man, I don't remember fucking shit from
There's some
game.
really cool looking NPCs.
I beat it once, like the week it came out.
Agatha, not whatever I said. Not Ash. Agatha. Yeah, there's some really cool characters. Telma. Damn, Zelda's way down that list. Zelda's fucking way
she got better in fucking Breath of the Wild.
So that
game a big nerd.
Twilight Zelda is like top of the Zelda chart.
Yeah.
But like way down in her own game. Because so many other characters are great.
Well, Twilight Zelda has one thing that most of those other characters don't have, and that's that when she's possessed and evil, she looks at you and she's like a massive bitch, and she's like, ugh.
Oh, no, okay. I self-corrected on something that was wrong. Okay, yes. Ash was correct. Agatha's the bug lady you were talking about.
Yeah, Agatha's the bug weirdo.
There you go. Yes, correct. Okay. We are all fixed. The timeline is saved. And Zant, keeping that helmet on.
Fuck you, Zant. Never have I seen a worse case of Butterface than Zant.
That helmet's real cool.
Do you know what you need to do? You need to put a helmet on that other helmet in case the first helmet breaks.
And walking all low and intimidating with the long sleeves while the helmet is on.
God, what was that fucking thing? The triple bagger? You put a
one
put a bag on your head.
One for them. One for the dog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh.
God. It's bag locked coolness. Anyway.
Seal in Zant's freshness with 2 helmets.
So I know we reset the clock before, but we can reset it again.
Seriously?
A Polish online retailer
Oh, this one, yeah.
Retail Ender. Bundled $76 for free when you buy a $5 PS4 thumbstick. Now I know we're scraping for reasons to reset the clock at this point.
Yeah, but this is like negative value. This is like absurd.
But if you really want a thumbstick in Poland, that's a free game.
I saw, I think it's a comment on this thread, or when I retweeted it, which is just, at what point do you just burn them?
But that's what I'm saying. Is like it's like we're just waiting for this. Like, what country will it be
that does the landfill?
And then they, and then like GameStop outside of fucking Brisbane, like opens up a giant like pit and just fills it in. Like, like at some point that's just gonna be, and it's like, is that even a clock reset at this point? Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, this is getting to the point, like, at what point do we just see the story that is, like, they're just throwing them in the trash?
Not yet, apparently.
Not yet.
Not yet. So.
Somebody pointed out, I forget where I saw it, but, like, the game hit 0 value when it was bundled with that Xbox bundle that already had the game. Because it meant that the game was actually functionally worthless.
When it was bundled with the bundle that already had the game.
Remember there was the Xbox bundle that came with Fallout 76?
Yes.
That was being sold as, hey, you get an extra copy of Fallout 76?
Yes.
That means the value of the game has hit 0.
Oh, boy.
It's not even worth itself.
We've got something that is not brand new, but it's new to me, damn it. And that means I'm going to talk about it.
All right, let's hear it.
GTTOD. Get to the Orange Door.
All right.
Project made by Arcade Coin. And this is...
What the fuck is this?
Super Hot meets Titanfall 2.
Okay.
And the footage of this thing is glorious, to say the least.
We're going to watch the video now.
Because what I see is a retro synth first-person shooter.
Yeah, I'm seeing Tron vibes
where
here.
you are wall running and
correct.
sliding and using speed and melee encounters to dodge bullets.
And you're shooting guys and they blow up like the super
and
hot.
Air jumping and doing like things that are like the wall running trial in Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
And then slowing down time so you're getting some of that super hot in there as you dodge and maneuver and do things.
Some kind of melee shit.
You've got a
slat,
you got a crossbow,
lasers.
you got a sword, you've got these different guns, and you're just obstacle coursing
to the Orange Door.
Yes, while dealing with all the threats.
This looks fucking rad.
It is everything that I'm about. And again, it's very, very super hot. Very, very super hot, but with Titanfall mobility. Under the water, through and out the other side, hitting slow-mo, platforming. It's just all of the things that I love in an aesthetic that I love, based on a game that I love and another game that I love.
Man, that looks super hot.
So,
see what I did there?
So this was an old build, and I believe there was a Steam demo that was available for a while, and then it got pulled down. But I still think the old build is available on the itch.io, and I think some new build is being worked on. But Get to the Orange Door just fucking slid across my desk this week, and a bunch of GIFs. You know when a game sells you on some GIFs?
Yeah.
That's a new thing, right? A tweet with a video clip in it and a couple of fucking GIFs, and you're like,
whoa, shit.
All right, that's all I need.
I remember Horizon Zero Dawn actually got a big boost from Sunhee Legends GIFs to the fact that Gorilla thanked him because like he'd put out these GIFs of like the fucking lighting hitting the grass and shit like that, and everybody like, whoa,
yeah.
What's that?
Yeah. I feel as if you know how we complain about like award shows, not get award shows, trade shows, where we're like, just fucking get to the footage.
Just show me it.
They should just open up like a thread with GIFs posted on it, and just scroll down the GIFs, and that'll be your preview for the game.
Yeah.
You know, Nothing sold me harder on Hyperlight Drifter than hyperlightdrifter.gif.
Oh, dude,
It was a
good.
sprite animation.
It's so good.
You know, just do that.
More than the trailer that GIF was in.
Just do that. You know. Anyway, GTTOD. And okay, so
Do I have time to pee? Because I gotta pee real bad.
yeah, you should go pee.
Okay, I'm gonna pee now.
All right.
Bye for now, everyone.
BRB.
I gotta get out of here.
PO. PPA.
Don't. Weird.
Yep. There we go.
Bladder freshly emptied, ready to greet the rest of the day. Feeling good.
You know, you could always fill that bladder back up
Okay,
with a beverage of choice.
I could.
I have a few recommendations.
Yes.
Maybe some energy.
Yeah. I'm a little energied up right now.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
Energy in moderation, gang.
It's true. Don't do it. But do it sometimes, but don't do it.
Sometimes, but not every time.
Yeah. We got to talk about what's going on with Catherine.
All right, let's do it. What's the deal?
So, over the week, some details came out that were based on someone's report of the Japanese version of the game, and
I'd consider the original breakdown of this troubling.
yeah. So what we saw effectively was we saw a post that more or less referred to.
You know what? Let's be really clear here. We're going to put a big-ass spoiler warning before we talk about anything.
You know what? This is the only way to talk about what's happening. The only way to talk about like the problem here is to spoil Catherine full body. So
a game that has not released in this region.
yes. So I've beaten Catherine the original.
I have not.
I'm familiar with the original game. And there's extra content in full body that was not in the older version.
Mm-hmm.
But so what it looks like is that effectively there was a report basically saying that the way in the original Catherine there was Erica, the trans character that was something that ultimately kind of came out and people had some odd feelings about.
I remember hearing, and from what I've seen, is that it wasn't handled
It's not
particularly
It's
well.
kind of punchliney, you know. It's kind of like that's the joke, and it's like, okay, well, that's coming from certainly from a time when that was a lot more common. But ultimately, the expectation and hope was that like the game would, I guess, address or handle things,
Well, I
in a
mean,
different way.
as soon as this game got announced, people were like, like just like not expecting the best.
Right. So what happened was we have the post from the Japanese version saying that effectively there were two things that happen in the game that seem pretty fucked up. One of them was Rin, the new Catherine, upon Vincent realizing that Rin has a penis, there's a push or a punch or something.
I think the specific wording is that he hits her.
And then it becomes a thing where then Vincent has to chase after Rin to, I guess, apologize, and that's sort of like the storyline that goes down. So there's like a panic moment, I guess. And then the other being that there is a true ending or some sort of like
that involves time travel.
That involves time travel where things are more or less reset, and in the true ending, Catherine meets Vincent and the friends back in high school.
Way early, and then as a result, the course of their lives end up changing. Paul never dies, and so ends up hooking up with Catherine with a K. And we see the same wedding scene from the other endings, except Erica has not transitioned. Yeah.
And so the idea is that if this is to be interpreted as
the best possible
the best
variation,
ending, then like why would you do that to Erica?
Now, the original posts detailing this had some fairly conclusive claims that have not been borne out, such as the implication that the time travel was specifically to make everyone's life better, including implying stopping this person from transitioning. That is not exactly the case. This has been a really weird one to follow, as I have seen every variation of people hitting this translation and my timeline for like over a week.
I really wish
not over a week.
I really wish it was like something that was like fully out in a way where like you could see exactly what this is about to know, because ultimately, yes, you're going from these reports. What I heard sounded super fucked up and not okay.
Yeah.
And it sounded like if what the description was, like they were kind of doubling down in a way that was like really shitty with how you're handling a trans character.
I'd like to be upfront with my
It's a Japanese game, of course, coming from Atlas. It doesn't have the same compass as North America, but it's still.
Before we even get into the handling of whatever, I have to be quite honest with my frustrations, which is I think the fact that this came out in such a way in that we're playing phone tag in a language most of us don't speak, and it's explicitly 100% about the ending to a game that has not released, makes this conversation the worst. Like,
you ultimately,
it has been a week of I don't know. I heard this. I don't know. Is this translation accurate? Is this translation? It sucks. It absolutely sucks.
The fact that you ultimately have to wait for the game to come out to hard confirm anything makes it so that you can't get anywhere super conclusive. But
that wouldn't be a solution either, because if you waited for the localization to come out, then it would then transition into an argument in which it would be, okay, but did the localization change what it meant?
Did they change it? Would they change it to America?
Did they add a thing? Did they
that possibility.
Change a line?
Or was, if what was reported was not necessarily the case, because what other people are saying is that Rin scene didn't go down in that way.
Yeah, I heard a clarification on that from somebody saying that he slaps her hand away.
Is what happens still something that's shitty, right?
Yeah.
Or is it not? Like, what is the context of that? So ultimately, there's no way to know until the game actually comes out, which is like it's a fucking ugly point.
When does the game come out?
I don't know.
When the fuck does it come out?
So this is all just kind of in that place. But here's the thing, though, is like with the Erica one, based on it seems like it's left in this ambiguous place. But from what that seems to be is like if this wedding mirrors the other weddings,
yeah.
And this is the only thing different in this world is this is like the ideal true ending because like Paul is not dead because Catherine never killed him.
Yeah.
And then everybody ends up with the things the way they're if the idea is this is the way things are supposed to be,
yeah,
it's a really super fucked up thing to say that that's what's supposed to be with Erica.
The vagueness makes it so confusing because in addition there's the line between two of the characters, somebody and Erica, or Eric at the time rather, in which like, oh, I wish I could find the perfect girl, something like that, and it's like they might be closer than you think. And then comes into the question of like, okay, when does this take place? Is this literally just because they met in high school? Is it just a couple years before you would think?
Right.
So she just hasn't transitioned yet? Because if that's the case, then this is total whatever. It's just they haven't done it yet, and they'll do so later.
So
right?
So that's the thing is it's in that interpretation place where they don't necessarily specify if it just says several years later. But
if it is exactly the same time, and as the result of this time travel, everything worked out great, which includes not transitioning, that's kind of fucked up.
It is.
That's dark.
So it's like everything's great except for just that. But then you're like, okay, so then. I hate the gymnastics because again the game is not fun, but like it's the fact that you're like, okay, so the original couple has their wedding, they meet, Catherine with a K meets Vincent 10 years later, and then they have the wedding after the events of the game. And in this case, if Catherine with a C meets him in high school, then they would probably get married earlier, so therefore it could just be a time thing.
So
but the implication, again, if the idea is left up to like these weddings are parallel in other endings, and here this is the ideal scenario. And the other bit too that I'm remembering is I think someone said that in the credits the name is not listed as Erica either.
Okay.
Right.
So that would also make sense because of the fucking
because of when it's taking place. But it's
so like
I hate the fact that is a possibility because I fucking
this is unironically like this is a perfect vague spot.
Yeah.
In that. Every part of this detail that we've discussed is up in the air for like almost interpretation.
Yeah.
And as a result, until there's like some kind of developer comment, localizer comment or whatever, it's literally just up to your perception or your what you would expect from the dev team or what have you, right? And so on either side of this where you're going like, this is fucked up and it's bullshit, or no, it's not bad. It's like you don't actually know for sure. It could be really fucked up or it could be totally harmless. But it's sitting in this fucking miasma of uncertainty. And it's on top of that, it's not out. We don't have an English translation to compare. Like, it sucks. This sucks.
The stuff that we are hearing, like it is in that ambiguous place. I really hope it's not what it seems to be because it sounds like if it is, that's really bad. Specifying details, changing that, whatever they wanted, whatever they do, whatever the end game ends up being. If they don't clarify that, like this is not the same time frame as the other weddings and that this is basically a vision of the ideal future. If the game doesn't clarify that the ideal future is not Erica never transitioning, then you've got a really fucked message there, I think. But
if you assume they take place at the same time.
If it goes that way.
And it's like, now we're in a goofy situation. Because usually this is the kind of thing that a developer just comes out and they say, blah, 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 blah. It's because of this, whatever. And then everyone either has to take their word for it or not.
But I've been told that Atlas also doesn't develop according to like input from the West at all.
Yeah.
They develop entirely the way they would in Japan, for Japan.
Let's say somebody at Atlas, let's assume, I'm not saying this is the case, but let's assume it's totally harmless. And there's a dev that's like, no, I want to go to Twitter and explain to the people that it's totally harmless, right? Do you really think that they're going to be able to even go to Twitter and spoil the fucking new ending of their new game? There's no way. Like, the developer comment
They're
on this...
They're also really over the top about spoilers in any LPs and
especially
all that.
Atlas.
They're the most over the top
a discussion about this with development staff, one way or the other, is like years away, right? In a post-mortem or a TED Talk or fucking whatever.
Here's the thing, though, right? I remember when Poison was coming out in Street Fighter Cross Tekken.
Yeah.
And right off the bat, Capcom was like, we worked with GLAD. We spoke to them about this character, and we made sure that everything is on the up and up, so that it's not going to come across as like a punchline or something shitty.
Capcom said we want to make sure that we don't cross the line.
Right.
P.S. Watch our reality TV show, please.
Also, will you cross the line? No.
Oh no.
But all that to say, though, so that's what they did, right? And that made sense, especially considering they're like, how many cooks are in this kitchen? Oh God! Oh, what's gonna happen? Is it gonna be? It's like literally, you can just get someone to check this and go like, does this feel shitty to someone who's trans here? Yeah. Because if so, then cool. And one would hope that some version of sanity check occurred in this case, so that when it does come out, that's not gonna be the case.
However, we know for a fact, Atlas does not give a shit about the West. They make Japanese fucking games for a Japanese audience.
Yeah.
And we also know, somewhat sadly, for a fact, that on many issues that are near and dear to, say, mine and your heart, Wooly, and all the viewers at home, Japan doesn't give a fuck. They don't give a shit.
I've heard that there are like there was pushback, but it seems for the most part like the majority was not.
So you can't count on, say, a societal check and balance on this, so it becomes even more vague and more up in the air.
Yeah.
Because it's totally within the realm of possibility that you look and go, yeah, nobody gave a fuck, and they just did whatever the fuck, and they don't give a shit if you're mad. And if you're complaining in English, they don't give a shit. They don't even see it. They won't ever even know.
Ultimately,
right? Or maybe not.
This is one of those things where it's like, I as much as like I can see chat being like, please guys don't, but it's kind of like,
ignore this story would be absurd.
It is absurd. It is absurd to think you could just be like, well, no, we'll just not talk. It's like, this is related to Catherine, related to Atlas. It's related to things we've talked about. Like, guys, there's no way we're not gonna talk about what's going on with this. Like, you have to.
Everybody would fucking make fun of our tiny dicks if we dodged this story.
And so,
completely gonna sandbag. All right, there you go,
dude. Like,
I have the girth to tackle this story.
The story is about dicks. There's a million jokes free hanging to go
I'm trying to be classy,
and
here.
I'm trying to be classy. I'm sandbagging by not going for the dick joke, Pat.
Yeah,
because there are many. But the point remains the same: is that like I really hope that it's not as shitty as it seems, because it fucking sucks when I hear like my friend Dacid, bro, like, Catherine Champ is like, I can't do this, and he's like the guy that helped put Catherine back on the fucking map, and I'm like, God damn it, man, that sucks that happens, and that this is in this place that it's in. And the other bit is that, like, you know, again, because like Atlas is doing Atlas, right, no matter what, and that's how it be. And it's like, if this is something that you kind of heard about in advance, or you knew about Erica from 10 years ago or whenever it was, I think it was exactly.
Yeah, I didn't finish the game, but I had heard about it. Yeah.
Then you'd think you'd had time to sort of like, well, if you're doing this, if you're going back in on this, they did make changes, like they removed the line, right?
Yeah, one of the things that actually lends credence to the fact that it might be okay or even positive, possibly, is that there was a line in the original about how Erica would not be able to be allowed to be a female wrestler. That conversation is still in the game, but that line has been cut.
So they thought about something.
They thought someone discussed it at some point, and they decided that no, so-and-so should not say that to Erica.
Right. So all that to say that, like, the process of, like, let's not do Erica dirty when this game comes out again. Also, we're introducing a romantic link that is a second possibly trans, but possibly...
Oh, that's even more confusing. It's an alien thing,
that's an angel.
And shit.
There's a lot going weird with that. Ultimately, that, you know, is very...
It's the law ending.
But you're like, if we're going further into non-binary territory,
yeah,
like, you'd want to make sure that you're, like, doing it right. So
I'm of the opinion that, like, I completely feel, or I empathize with, say, Dacid Bro. I think that level of conclusion is premature. I also think that I've seen people staunchly defend this for sure. That is also premature.
You do not have that.
There's not enough information here. And the problem is that I seriously doubt there will ever be enough information.
And that's actually worse, because now you never get the conclusion because it's left vague,
which means
in a way that, like,
that's going to come down to every individual person and whether or not they want to give this dev team from out in Atlas the benefit of the doubt.
Yes. It's vague in a way that other things are vague in games sometimes. And now it's just down to, well, how do you feel about it, I guess?
So,
and, like, you know, that's worse.
Is Bayonetta sexist or is she empowering?
How do you feel about women's sexuality? Does it frighten you? Because if it does, then maybe you'll be intimidated by a Bayonetta.
Yeah. I think you should be intimidated by
I think
Bayonetta.
You have good reason to be, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But let it rock. You know, let it rock. But, yeah. So, you know, this is something where...
this is the kind of thing that will only be decided when their next game comes out, and if this topic is broached again, if it's handled with dignity, that will reflect well on Catherine.
Dignity.
And if it's not handled with dignity, it will reflect badly on Catherine, because you're going to take pieces of that and use it to fill in pieces of this.
Again, I bring up Poison as an example of a character that was a paragraph in an obscure Capcom book that described Poison as a new half. And that changed when it came to America. And then when Cross Tekken came around, they went, "Yep, okay, let's fix that up." Dignity, as you mentioned, and you'd almost want to preemptively do that in this case. And
that's how we think about that shit.
That's how we think about it. This is a very.
I can guarantee you, the fucking development and publishing staff over at Atlas probably didn't fucking bat an eyelash.
Well, I know that it's not that the rules change, but the expectations that the public have changes once you go into a different culture. But it doesn't change the fact that I hope they go there and do that, because it's the right thing to do.
Foolish is too strong, but I think that's a pipe dream. I think that is unlikely to occur. I think that this company...
I didn't make a comment on its likeliness. I just said I hope.
I think this company in this country that doesn't care about this culture of this country and makes their shit for them, from a development perspective, I think that's laudable, right? From a social perspective, it's more complex. It's tough.
And I guess then that I guess in turn, those people won't care for this company.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all you got. Catherine, the full body, comes out whenever and will be available wherever. Oh, boy.
I don't know how this...
you know what the actual story was, though?
What's
the
that?
voice actor for Rin. That's what I pulled up. Was the update was that the voice actor for Rin...
The new Catherine.
Came out and said, "Please wait for the full game. I'm very proud of the work that went into this." And I think, and they're calling for context as well. Mods, you can put the chat back off of icons. It can go back to words. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
You don't have to do that, guys.
I trust chat to be kind and polite. That being said, I mean,
thank you.
I can't get over. This is a really delicate fucking topic. This is a something that, of course, people are going to feel really strongly about, because it could be really fucked up. But I still think...
Because if it's fucked up, then there's good reason to feel strongly about it.
But at the same time, it's like, this could not have been a more confusing and impossible to discern story. Every single way that this has been discussed, the nature of... There are people that probably would give a big fucking shit about this topic that can't engage in this conversation because they don't want to get the fucking ending of the game they're interested in spoiled. So they have to wait until it comes out themselves, and then they can make their own judgment.
The thought process is that the subject matter is more important than the ending of the game. You know, in that.
Yeah, but that only counts if the version of it sucks.
Right.
If it's positive, then oh no,
yeah.
It's a real catch-22.
And you know. Yeah, it is. You don't want another. You don't need another example of like. people who felt like shit feeling like shit again,
Yeah.
But that is one thing's for sure is if you're going forward, everyone involved with Atlas at this point absolutely heard this now, and whatever Japan is doing in their own way, I think there's zero chance that this story, even preemptively, doesn't affect everything going forward. I think the impact of this will be heard regardless. I'm
of two minds of that.
I think because again, it's the double down or it's the wola.
I see that slightly differently, and that is the kind of thing that worries me, which is, let's say the impact is felt. There's a good way to deal with that, and then there's the worst way to deal with that. And the good way to deal with it is take the criticism, take your lump, and try and do I don't want to say a better job because we don't know if they did a bad job, but try your best, right? The worst way to deal with it is, every time this topic comes up, everybody in the West gets pissed off. Let's just scrub that shit from everything we ever make again and just pretend it's not there.
We don't have to go into Persona discussion part 3, and quite frankly, if I can be honest about that, I'm the fact that you can connect things in this way, but I also don't want to, because I don't want the topic of Persona to be ruined by the fact that so many people were upset about us talking about it.
Oh, people get mad.
No, I know, but I don't want to never be able to talk about Persona again as a result of that, because it's like every time I bring it up, it's going to become a question of
don't worry, I'll talk to myself.
The Naoto and the kanji thing again, and so on and so forth. I really don't want that to happen, because that's a franchise I would like to talk about.
You got to get more comfortable being wrong as fuck.
Sure,
it's easy.
Oh, I'm very comfortable being wrong. My fucking main quote is be as wrong as you can be, so that you eventually end up being the best version of yourself.
That's true. Yeah.
Keep being wrong, as long as you improve from it, and as long as you pick up what that wrong was about. Fighting game mentality applied to life. Every loss literally teaches you something. So it's just that the question with
a dumb bitch.
The question in regards to what Atlas does is I guess it depends on whether or not one director, Hashino,
I believe that is the name,
is calling every shot and everyone else just does it, or if there's a lot of people that are all calling shots together and making decisions as a group. Because I think if the group is making decisions in that case, it's a lot more likely that the former situation will occur. Not much else to go on.
That's the frustrating thing. It's this weird thing of I genuinely feel it would be more useful and beneficial for everyone for the game to just be blatantly fucked up. And then you could just know that it was fucked up and go, that's fucked up. And just deal with that. Than this fucking nonsense absurdity of the vagueness and the unknowingness.
Sorry, I'm getting breaking. Okay, two breaking news. Two breaking news. One breaking news is that this is what I just said about Scalebound earlier.
Yeah,
actually. So yes.
More Scalebound
reports.
Scalebound 2 coming to the Switch?
No, I don't think it's been. Wait, is this confirmed? Shit, sorry, I have to fact check this right live.
I have to check. I'm on my Twitter.
You know what? Hold on. And then the second one was actually about Catherine.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get onto that before we fact check this one. Alt ending isn't set pre-transition because Toby's there and only joins the group when Jonathan hires him. / is 10 years younger than everyone else.
Okay.
So Toby doesn't join the group until later on in the timeline. Which then might not place it.
Well, now we're tilting that scale back.
Now we're tilting it back to not great.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking at that as a hard lock thing, then you're like, either circumstantially Toby happened to be there earlier for random reasons, or if it is the exact same time frame as the wedding in the previous endings, now you're going, why is this the only other detail that changed? So we're now back into that place. That's a fucking shitty place to be.
That is not great.
Time travel changed it. That's how it goes. Yeah. The biggest hands up in the world, butterfly effect. Everything changed it. Okay. And we're gonna just move on. I guess I don't have anything else at this point.
Can you timestamp this so people can fucking move past this conversation if they don't want to deal with the fucking spoilers?
100%.
So that they can likely get the game and then probably be disappointed themselves.
Yeah. This is about 2:44, so I will let people know
At this point, I'm waiting for the hard swerve on the other side of the fucking thing until when it gets localized, and then a whole conversation about the localization again.
Yeah. And I apologize to anybody who feels like annoyed by the fact that this is discussed or whatever, but again, I
don't know. This seems like it was obviously the biggest story this week.
Sorry if you're bothered or whatever, but it's like there's no way we're not going to address or talk about that. Like it's just not going to happen. So, Scalebound resurrected as a Nintendo Switch exclusive. Report. What does report mean?
I saw that on Nintendo Insider. Is that where you're seeing it?
Yeah.
They're pulling it from the same podcast from Kind of Funny.
Okay. Well, then...
it's just a re-report.
It's just yes, it's the same thing I said earlier.
It's not a confirmation.
All right.
Calm down, everybody. Calm down.
Still a rumor. Still the mill.
Until I see a goddamn trailer on the Nintendo fucking page or some shit.
Now, Pat, I mean, I guess a lot of this really just... comes down to a question.
Yeah. Yeah? What are you laughing about? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up?
It comes down to a question.
What question's that, man?
Of your moral standing.
That's right. I mean, I have certain moral standings. You have certain moral standings. But beyond that,
people should be, in general... people of integrity.
That's right.
That treat everyone else with dignity.
That's correct. And respect. Don't forget respect.
I think it's important to keep dignity and respect and all people being treated fairly until proven otherwise.
That's correct.
I would call that my core value.
I would also call that some of my core values. How about that?
I would call that my core value.
It's pretty funny. You mentioned that. It's funny you mentioned that. And it's funny.
Mention what?
Certain core values.
Core values!
That we share. The Castle Super Beast has certain core values that we believe this podcast represents. But you know what's sad? Some people run shows in which their core values are not represented. Did you hear there was a show like that over the past couple days?
Just thinking of that clown voice from BioShock.
Welcome to the Circus of Value.
Values!
Wow! Now this is a story. This is a much more fun story.
I want you to pack your suitcase.
Yeah, that's right.
Pack lightly, because you don't have to worry about...
premature to pack, isn't it?
But don't worry about it. Just you don't need too many jackets. Just get a couple hoodies in there.
That's right.
Make room for your arcade stick.
That's right.
Because we're all taking a trip to Japan.
Evo Japan sounds like the coolest shit ever.
I can't wait. This just... Oh boy. All right. Evo Japan. It goes down. It goes down for real. Big
fighting
stream.
Game tournament in Japan.
Fun stuff.
Big
Amazing
deal.
things happening. Sad things happening, like Momochi, who wins but cannot get paid more than $900 because he's not officially recognized in Japan as a professional gamer. Therefore, there's a cap to how much money you can win. What the fuck are you doing, guys?
Gambling laws?
Anyway.
I don't know.
Alongside the Evo tournament is, of course, the demonstrations being put on by the various game companies.
That's correct.
To advertise their games. One of which is Dead or Alive 6. And Dead or Alive 6 comes with a complete package.
Pause the game, photo mode that shit.
Of which you get to see Bass do a gigantic power bomb, which pauses in a compromising position.
Now, I want to point out that this demonstration, Tecmo Koei hired some nice ladies. Apparently, they were gravure models.
There were some nice ladies.
They were having a good time.
A good time was
being had. They were
had.
acting up for the camera.
The camera was being acted
They
up
were
for.
putting on a show.
A show was being put on.
And they were having a blast with this photo mode.
You know who knows how to put on a show?
Who's that?
Bass. The guy from Dead or Alive.
Oh, right. That guy.
He knows.
For everybody.
Bass knows how to do it.
Pausing the game, showing off some accidental scandalousness.
Jiggle physics in the game and in real life, one might say. And it seems that that was no good.
No good.
Because the stream went down.
The American stream went down.
And when it came back up, Tasty Steve was sitting in the back. And what I can only describe as, I'm guessing, a reluctant Markman was basically describing that they'd like to apologize on behalf of Triple Perfect Productions because
we know you guys don't
content-
want to see these anime titties.
the
We
content
know
does
it.
not represent our core values, and so that's why it had to come down.
And then, good old Mr. Wizard hits the Twitter
Posts
to make
more
the
or less
statement,
the same statement, I believe.
saying it doesn't reflect Evo's core values.
Tweet got
a tweet which no longer exists.
Tweet got deleted, I want to say.
Oh, it's super fucking gone.
Yeah.
That shit did not last.
So, here's the thought process.
Ban this sick filth.
Here's the thought process that I can walk you through.
Let's see. Let's hear it.
I'm pretty sure I know exactly how it went down.
I know what you're gonna say, but
Okay.
let's hear it. Yeah.
Circa 3-4 years ago,
That's
maybe
right.
longer, maybe 5. FGC, porn sponsorships,
Dead. Gone.
the cross assault incident with Aris, excuse me, where the Noel Brown incident, the other Noel Brown incident, some bad stuff that was ultimately casting a horrible light on the FGC, caused the thuggery word to come into our vernacular.
Yes.
And the attempt to clean things up because we can't be having official esports sponsorships.
Can't put that shit on ESPN.
Going hand in hand with this type of stuff.
Can't have Laura's costume on ESPN.
Gotta change that.
Gotta change
Armika.
Armika's costume. Armika's super. Gotta go down.
So all that comes together where basically over the course of, before Street Fighter V, we already were seeing the attentiveness to making sure things were PG, and making sure things were ESPN broadcastable.
That's right.
So what you're seeing here is just a continuation of those core values.
That's correct.
That were implemented at that time, except now they're overseas in Japan, where Japan doesn't give a fuck, we established.
Let's contrast two things. One, Japan. Japan doesn't give a fuck.
As established.
Tecmo Koei, unlike all the other fighting games, is like, yo, you guys want to see some bouncing titties? And everyone's like, yeah!
But they did say they were gonna dial it back though for this game.
That's a lie.
And then they brought
That was a lie.
They brought in the gravure.
That is bullshit.
We saw fucking video of Itazan more or less getting live massaged by another.
She went for his pants first.
Pants were getting unbuckled. Hot stream.
Shit was nuts.
Evo Japan is lit. So, this is the greatest ad for Evo Japan ever. I'll tell you what.
And I want to point out, people let me know that there is an extra bonus cultural hilariousness to this, where they cut away from these dank titties and accidental sexuality to a Mortal Kombat 11 ad that featured Sonya's face being pulled
ripped off, eyeballs in midair
for the American audience.
Yeah,
which just puts the fucking bow on this.
Sonya, of course, the original example of as long as the blood is covering those nipples, everything's a-okay.
Everything's fine.
Our culture is fucked.
We live in Montreal. Our culture's weird.
No. I mean, literally,
You mean North America.
Our fucking continent
Yeah.
is fucked in regards to sex, bad, violence, okay.
Seeing a titty never hurt nobody.
But anyway.
Seeing a person's face pulled off, that has hurt people.
Yeah.
I would say that is accurate.
Yeah, but as long as, like, my family exists, there will always be someone calling in to complain. You know?
Yeah.
That's how it be.
That anime's for the devil, Wooly.
Yeah, that's why it says Satan 666 on the back of the book
Wait, does it?
on Dragon Ball.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does.
Mr. Satan has a car, and it says Satan 666 on it. But then sometimes Goku drives a car that also has the decal, and sometimes Piccolo wears a shirt that says it too. And when they're like, why does this character have a, why are they advertising Satan? And I'm like, I don't know. And that's
why it got changed to Hercule.
So, and yeah, the Home for Infinite Losers. Anyway, Japan.
Oh wow, I forget about that one every time.
It was brilliant. That is honestly my favorite censorship of all time.
Yeah.
Because it actually like takes creativity and genius to make a name
It's
that
better than
can
hell.
be hidden
Yeah.
in the words hell through a quick edit, and it's better than hell. Fucking amazing job on that one. Looking at this whole thing, I can see where that comes from. And the need to be PG and whatnot is like, guess what? Like, there's times when it's like, yeah, like, you can't have unprofessional, like, bullshit happening, like those incidents where they did step in.
Yeah.
Like, some of the scummier ones really were awful.
Oh, you mean like the ones that were pseudo or actually criminal?
Those are the ones that you can't be having on stream. You know?
You can't do that.
So the zero tolerance policy makes perfect sense that exists. Because
right up until
you can't have people scared to go to your fucking tournament because they're looking at it like a den of like degenerates.
Which it is.
But not criminal degenerates.
That's right.
Just gamer degenerates.
But you know, some of those people, I don't know if you know this, like sex.
Well, now, I mean, that's putting it one way. I just don't think that. I think it's obvious at this point that it's like, guys, yeah, you handled that in a way that is gonna be made fun of forever.
Forever. The Mr. Wizard and his fucking face is like, you might as well fucking tattoo core values on him.
Unfortunate.
It's hilarious to me.
That panic button decision was made.
You're gonna see people with core values signs at this year's
event. You're probably also looking at someone that was maybe looking at it and saying, "Hey, investors are literally about to yank unless we do something."
Good.
So, they
gotta keep it real.
How real do you keep it?
I don't know.
Criminal real?
Yeah, fuck it.
Let's
just give everyone knives.
What's the line between criminal and just good old fashioned?
Well, that's the problem, and this is the ongoing FGC issue, which is the difference between keeping it real
and when keeping it real goes wrong.
Money from the corporate. And yes, and when keeping it real goes wrong.
Shout outs to that one tweet. Skullgirls. Did we ever have a chance?
I feel like this is actually, like, this story's hilarious. Skullgirls got bizarrely snubbed, and it was unfair because the game was too new.
I told the story.
But you told it on stream.
Yeah.
You gotta tell it now.
I told it last year, but I'll tell it again. The BB tag showed up and got in on the Evo list, and everyone went, that game's not out yet. It comes out 2 months from now.
That's fucked up.
Why are you giving this game that's not even out yet a couple months to be at Evo? And then the comparison was Skullgirls, which was already out like 6 months ahead of time, was told that it was too new to be considered.
And now we look back as like,
running.
is it because it didn't fit Evo's core values?
Eventually, we did get some sort of response that said the choices were never about viewership,
Which is also kind of fucked up.
So, but whatever it was, the reasoning that Lab Zero got was not the reasoning that applied to BB Tag.
Well, BB Tag had this thing called Arxis and Dragon Ball. Is that fair? No. Is that reality? Probably.
But wouldn't your core values stop you from making that kind of
Listen,
decision?
core values is a code that means advertisers. Like, that's the sad reality of this hilarious story. It's, I don't want a fucking phone call from ESPN asking me why my tournament shows this sick filth and that when you're never going to see Street Fighter on ESPN ever again, Evo man.
I want core values to mean damage numbers, the values associated with your core.
The real stat underneath the fake stat.
Underneath the fake stat. That's what I want it to be. But, you know, this is where we be. And ultimately, I think there is a need for them to continue to have that sort of zero tolerance towards criminal thuggery, stupid bullshit.
You can't have crime.
And you can't, you know, and
all the illegal shit's supposed to take place.
And even
afterwards.
the not illegal shit, but the creepy shit.
Oh yes.
The creepy shit also needs to be
creepy shit's gotta go.
Fucking cracked down on. But like,
get it, Blaze Blue out of here.
But that doesn't. But creepy shit being cracked down on does not mean that all like sexuality. And
well, I got
all
bad
fucking,
news for you guys, because if you want to get all the creepy shit out of your shit, then you're gonna have a rough time with an event dedicated to Japanese fighting games.
Okay, if they were playing Arcana Heart and fucking swimming suit Blob Lolly showed up on stream,
that's right,
and then they pulled it down,
Evo's over,
and they went, guys, core values, etc. I don't think anyone would bat an eye. I think we'd all be like, fair.
Let's imagine a future in which Arcana Heart 4 comes out and is straight up the best fighting game ever made.
Oh, so you mean Million Arthur? Or do you mean BB Tag? Arcana Heart characters announced for BB Tag.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Let's imagine that. And it's all the creepiest ones. What the fuck are they going to do? Like, for real.
Ban the characters?
Well, that would be real transparent, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Apply a mosaic to one half of the screen.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Actually.
Oh, fuck.
Actually?
Yeah?
Galaxy Brain. Whoever mains that character plays off stream.
And if they're the finalist,
then we move to the next schedule on the next item on the schedule.
That would maybe I'm being hyperbolic because like, you know, whatever, but that level of capitulation to corporate whatever would like ruin Evo for me.
And then we'd have,
because it's so gross.
We'd have a brief delay, trailers would play, and then someone would come up and congratulate the winner after the match was done off stream.
And then we can start our own fighting game tournament
with
blackjack
and
hookers,
and then
drugs. What's the
gravure models?
Gravure models. Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. So anyway, I had another.
What do you need gravure models if you got the hookers?
Yeah. No, that's a rough one. They're never gonna live down, unfortunately.
They shouldn't. It's embarrassing, and they should be embarrassed.
But hopefully, there's time to reflect and realize that sometimes it's not the creepy stuff. Sometimes it's okay.
You want to get fucking universe brain?
Mm-hmm.
What happens to core values at the fucking televised Catherine full body side tournament at Evo? If the game's all fucked up and shit.
Well, the game itself, the versus mode, does not feature any of that cutscene
Yeah, but now it does. Fuck it.
Now it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. They just quadruple down on it and just like A character select screen could be bad enough.
Yeah, fucking sick.
Hold start to get an alternate costume. Why would you do that? Don't do that.
Oh, no.
Don't change the name. Stop it!
No.
Atlas!
Oh, no.
Fuck off! So, I was gonna say that
this whole situation has been great advertising for DOA 6, for real.
it has been. Shout out to the guy in the cosplay as fucking like Bayman or whatever that was just crouching and smugly like smiling, playing the game, moving the camera around.
Are you serious?
He was the guy like
man.
there's the Gravir models basically jubbling their fucking whatever what's the fucking term again?
Fun bags?
No. Anyway, whatever. I forgot, but they're shaking around the fucking cleavage, and then off to the side, he's like squatted over, and he's playing, and he's like got a smirk on his face, and then it cuts to the footage, and it's just zooming in on the implied cunnilingus, and you're like, yeah, that's not cool for ESPN. But you know what?
I think ESPN needs to get real.
Chess beefers, thank you. I fucking gave Matt that word and I forgot it. What does Evo do? Does it return from whence it came back to the pit, as the announcer in Darkest Dungeon would say? Or does it strive for legitimacy by continuing to clean up its image?
The problem is that the strive for legitimacy in some ways may lose them legitimacy in others. Right? I don't think anyone legitimately wants to go back to the pit. While it does have a certain nostalgia to it, the pit was the pit for a reason. However, that doesn't make the corporate slime feel any better.
So, continue making these decisions, but understand that you'll be laughed at for making them?
Yeah. And try and strike a balance. Listen, you're putting pit beasts in suits. All right? Some of them are going to chafe at the ties.
Deep down.
So sometimes you can put them in a suit, but just the blazer. Don't make them wear the tie. Because deep in their hearts, they'll always be pit monsters.
But it's like there's the ESPN line. Like, it is a hard question because it's like the ESPN line is a hard line. It's a TV line.
I think
know exactly
ESPN
what that is.
coverage and all that shit is wildly overrated, and it's done by a bunch of people who are getting off on the fact that we got to be on TV.
However, if it doesn't start there, it'll never get to the Korea place.
Yeah.
Where it's like celebrated national sport.
Maybe I'm wrong about everything, but it's never gonna get to the Korea place.
You are wrong. Esports, the international, all that shit.
Here? In the States?
It's a matter of time.
Nah.
It's a matter of time. You're super duper incorrect
The
about that.
footballers will eat the esports
TV
people.
being TV is not a thing, but like mass watching of video games as like a pastime will absolutely be a thing in your lifetime.
Listen, I'm not personally familiar with American sports fans as much, but if you're gonna sit there and tell me that they're gonna fucking have the Counter-Strike whatever and people are gonna care more about that than the fucking Stanley Cup, you are out of your mind.
Are you talking about, like, let's say the NBA Finals, which Twitch has consistently beat in viewers?
No, I'm talking about the Stanley Cup.
Okay, well, you live in Quebec, but
Yes, I do.
okay, the NBA
That's
Finals.
why I specifically mentioned I don't know much about the States and their sports fans.
The NBA Finals has had less viewers than Twitch for the last couple years. Like specifically as a thing that people are using to go like, yo, esports has actually got the eyeballs at this point. Like, that's a stat. Now Super Bowl is the actual thing you want to use as your comparison metric.
Sure.
Because that's your fucking top of the top.
Are people running $1 million ads
on Twitch
Evo?
during Evo? No, they're not.
Yeah.
Are we going to get there? I think that's lofty. I think Super Bowl is. I would be shocked if it ever hits Super Bowl.
That's
what
I'm talking about.
But as far as it goes, like on the regular, like because Super Bowl and
nothing's bigger than at the time
Olympics.
Bigger than StarCraft and Korea.
Olympics are fucking. You know what I mean?
Who gives a shit about the fucking Olympics?
Well, a lot of people watch them.
Yeah, they're idiots.
I'm saying that sports I'm saying sports over time will have comparable numbers to esports over time, and there will be these exceptions such as Super Bowl, maybe playoff numbers in some cases, maybe Olympics. World Cup is another fucking insane example, right? You have these pinnacles, but I'm saying the numbers that are not happening at the pinnacles, the data supports the fact that it is trending towards that.
I can't see it.
I mean, there's a reason why people are running into this business with cash, But there's a reason why sports players are creating esports teams, why Echo Fox exists, and all these other teams that are run by former athletes that are getting into esports. There's a reason why the Grizzlies by George St. Pierre are a thing, Like, it's the data supports that.
I don't see it, but I'm probably wrong. But I cannot... the specific example that I'm arguing against is you saying that you can't get to StarCraft in Korea unless it hits that. No video game will ever be like StarCraft was in Korea here. I don't think you're saying esports are getting big. Yeah, they're going to get super big. But the idea that in this country or the States anything will approach that level of absurdity is insane. Is absolutely fucking crazy.
I agree with that. I don't think our statements are mutually exclusive.
Yeah, all right. Because I wanted to specify that it's like StarCraft's so fucking crazy.
It's a national sport.
Yeah.
And we're not going to... Yeah.
I don't even know what fucking sport Korea actually is into other than StarCraft. Probably soccer.
Taekwondo's pretty big.
Well, yeah. They like to kick people off of horses and shit.
Well, if you could do a Kim Kapuan, wouldn't you?
Yeah. That's the right pick, by the way. Thanks for saying Kim and not Hwoarang. Hwoarang's cool, but Kim's the shit.
Well, for the purposes of our segue, we could talk about Hwoarang, though.
Yeah,
because
you're right.
We saw the trailer, and Julia Chang,
the Twitch streamer,
is back.
I identify with that.
She gets followers in the middle of the fight.
That's dope.
And she appears to have the moveset that she always has had.
Of course she did. She's Chang.
She's Julia.
Just like her mama.
Not full JC, though. Not the Lucha. But, looks like that's going to be dropping. And the fun part, of course, is that in the trailer, of course, we got to see... I could say, of course, a couple more times. Because, of course...
Of course.
I have a crutch. And, of course, I can't stop saying, of course.
Of course you do.
Perfect. Negan... trailer is at the end, and you get to see some of his moves, and guess what? He swings the fucking bat around.
Yeah.
Lucille does things, and it glows, and it's an evil possessed demon bat. Maybe
that's canon, by the way. I saw some Walking Dead episodes. It glows like that.
The evil is really just the bat and not Negan. Negan is a nice person if he lets go of the bat.
I don't know if you know this, but the bat in Walking Dead, he actually looks at it, and the 10 symbol shows up on it. It's possessed by the Satsui no Hado.
So that means that Negan's bat was hired by Kazumi.
That's right.
To investigate.
It was supposed to be given to Akuma, obviously, but then Negan stole it when Akuma was sleeping.
So you're saying the bat has the 10 symbol on it.
That's right.
Could that be described as a bat out of hell?
No, it'd be a bat out of heaven.
Are you sure about that?
I thought 10 meant heaven.
Or hell.
What does it mean? Are you sure now?
I thought it meant the both at the same time. I thought it was the other world.
Which is it?
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
10 is heaven!
Oh,
yeah!
but it was. Oh, I got.
Oh, you're so wrong.
I got some good hits.
Oh, shut up!
It was good. It was good.
Heaven or Hell, Duel 1, I win.
Let it rock.
Oh, you super fucked that up.
The attempt was all right. I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Negan joins the fight.
I thought you know what the worst part is, Wooly? I thought you were setting me up to say "Bat Out of Heaven," and then you fucking just, are you sure? And that's when I knew. That's when I knew.
Actually,
but I didn't know.
Technically, it's a bat out of the Home for Infinite Losers. If you really wanna.
No, it's Jesus. It's a vampire bat, apparently. So it's actually Eliza's bat from Tekken Revolution.
So he glows with absolute killing intent.
Fuck this. This is stupid.
And
Negan sucks.
Appears to be a very faithful Negan.
Yeah, sure.
And he does the thing where he puts you on your knees and then he beats you up.
Yeah.
The end of the trailer is quite hilarious because Harada makes a little cameo.
Oh, does he?
And Negan's basically like, now this whole waiting for the end of the season thing, you're going to put me in the next update, right?
Yeah.
And Harada's like, yeah, I'll do it.
Oh, Negan's done early?
Negan's threatening to kill Harada.
Cool.
So, Negan and Julia both coming out on the 28th.
So I want to point out that in canon, Harada is as strong as Heihachi Mishima and could defeat Ono.
Based on
those videos that they put out where they would fight. Remember that shit for Cross Tekken?
where Ono fought Harada?
Yeah.
But, like, how is he... Where does the Heihachi comparison come from?
He dresses like Heihachi. He always uses the black gi with the
but that's not a comment on his power level.
Yeah, it is.
It's just
that shit doesn't even go on unless you're strong enough. It's really heavy.
It's just his outfit.
No, man, it's heavy.
No, it's cosplay.
No. Harada based Heihachi on himself. That's why Heihachi wears that outfit.
I can't believe I actually started listening.
Yeah, it's one of those times where in my back of my mind, I'm like, why is he entertaining this? This is really stupid. I'm going to keep going until he stops, but he fell for it. This is a dumb conversation he's having.
A lot of dumb conversations.
Ow, I bit myself.
You deserve it. That's what you get.
Oh, no. I'm bleeding. Shit. I really bit the fuck out of myself for no reason. For no reason, even.
Oh, man. How salty would it be if I named the podcast Bat Out of Hell? No, it's not a fun name. Let's take some email, shall we?
Hey, gang. If you want to have an email read by us, be it a comment, question, correction that I don't believe they've ever gotten right, you can send that to castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. That's castlesuperbeastmail@gmail.com. Wooly, do we have any emails this week that we should read? High quality emails, perhaps.
Yes, we do. We got one coming in from Henry.
Hey, Henry, what up?
Correction. Dear Dreadlords of Castle Super Beasts, correcting Pat.
Of course.
The Wheel of Time series was finished not by Robert Jordan's son, who doesn't exist, but by his widow, Brian Saunderson, and a boatload of notes. Saunderson was picked by Robert Jordan's widow personally.
Mm-hmm.
As for the question of what book series y'all would want to see adapted and how you'd want to see it adapted, inquiring minds want to know.
I've been getting this wrong for a while and was corrected before today about this on the internet via social media. Therefore, that correction doesn't count.
So
nice try.
If you've been already corrected, then
if someone got to me before the email,
then the wrong
you
is
missed your
unwronged.
shot. Sorry, buddy. Better luck next time.
Okay.
Oh, I can just feel the anger, the collective anger of the email horde at me changing the rules on them.
Yeah, I'd get salt.
Yeah. Well,
we got one coming in.
Hope nobody beats you to me on Twitter.
From Christopher.
Hey, Chris, what up?
Der Wuri and Dopato.
Hey, yo, what up?
So I recently...
Gomen Nasai.
You know what I learned, actually?
What's
Fuck this
that?
email for a minute.
All right, wow.
I
Wow,
learned...
eat our shit, Chris.
I learned that that languages that pronounce R's are called rhotic languages.
Oh, really?
And or accents rather. Accents that pronounce the R are called rhotic accents, and ones that don't are non-rhotic accents.
Interesting.
So some old school Southern drawl that doesn't have their R's,
Yeah.
or some British is non-rhotic.
What do you call a fucked up accent that says both with an L?
Oh, I don't know, but
You'd have to be some kind of asshole
that sounds
to say
like,
it like that.
That sounds like some weird fucking, I don't know, either Philly or Colorado shit. I don't know who says it that way. I have no
know
idea.
at least one person who says it that way.
That's very weird.
Yeah, it's fucking weird.
Hmm.
I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Both?
Both. With an L.
That sounds kind of Fargo-y. Like, oh yeah, we got both of them, you know. That was my deal, Wade. Sounds kind of like something like that, you know?
So I'm going to actually take a question from the chat.
Uh-huh.
Something that we rarely do. Is this a dig at Paige or Plague?
Or?
Both. Both.
You know, you should have said both.
They talk funny.
Der Wuri and Dopato.
You can stop eating our shit now, Chris.
So I recently played through and finished Metroid Prime Echoes.
It's a good game.
What a great fucking game. Makes me upset that the real first exposure to the series, like Metroid, Star Fox, and even Legends of Zelda, I got was through Brawl back in 2008.
Weird.
But anyway, in the game I encountered an enemy called a Resbit, type of rogue patrol drone that incapacitates Samus with a virus attack, requiring you both to reboot her suit systems in order to be able to continue. This concept of enemies fucking with you is an ability... with your ability to play the game is greatly entertaining and fascinating. I was wondering if you had any favorite examples of this type of enemy.
That, like, if this question
all the best
came
now
in
and forever.
Without that,
P.S. Never
I would
give
have
up.
mentioned Metroid Prime and that shit.
Resbit.
Everything about Samus's suit and being in the suit is it's the coolest element of that game. It's so fucking rad.
Therefore, if you're going to attack something, attack the suit.
Yeah. Fuck the suit.
And remind the player of their immersion by having them feel like, uh-oh, my suit is malfunctioning. My heads need to change.
I'm going to say Eternal Darkness.
Okay. Insanity meter?
It fucks with you.
Flies on the screen.
It flies on the screen. It deletes your... There's one that deletes your file. It hits the pause screen out of your control and goes and deletes your save file. It's outrageous.
And it looks like real.
It's I don't know how it got past like compliance of the day. Because it's super against that. They break every fucking rule of the wall,
honestly,
of the fourth wall.
So in those situations, that's basically a compliance tester looking at it and going,
fuck it, that's cool.
Nah, come on. You know, and Nintendo goes, yeah.
Get special permission, that kind of thing.
You can get exceptions. In fact, half of the job is not even the finding and the reporting. It's the getting permissions part. Where you're like, we can't fix this on time. Please
promise we'll fix it. We promise.
Please give us a conditional pass. Let us release the game as is, and on day one we will have a fix.
And then sometimes they get told to eat shit, and then you get a 2-week delay for a game out of nowhere.
2 weeks. The fuck you? What are you smoking?
Well,
you on that Ibogaine?
What's that?
2 weeks? Hell no. More than
month?
that.
What?
Yeah, you gotta chalk that up.
All right. Whatever, man. I'm talking out of my ass.
Yeah.
I never worked in fucking QA.
Yeah.
I'm a professional armchair asshole.
My favorite is Valentine from Skullgirls.
Yeah.
Because she shoots you with the poison syringes.
Oh, that shit's fucking fucked up.
As I'm sure you are familiar.
Yeah. Fucks your controls, though.
The idea of a projectile syringe to begin with.
Don't like it.
Fantastic.
Don't like it.
What a great projectile.
Man, you know what's fucked up? You ever see oh god, what is it? I think it's Beethoven 2, the one with the St. Bernards.
Yep.
The fucking main
You
villain
mean
in
Beethoven second?
yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
The fucking St. Bernard movie. The villain in that shit, it might be the first one, I don't remember, is like kidnapping dogs to experiment on them at the fucking pound and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the way they fucking get got is Beethoven jumps on the table that has all the fucking dog syringes and launches like 50 fucking 12 gauge syringes into this dude's chest and like pins him to a fucking wall. It's so fucking violent. It's so out of control violent for this fucking kids movie about dogs.
I don't suppose you saw that photo of...
Scared the shit out of me.
I don't suppose you saw that photo of the truck with the hospital waste that fucking had a spill.
Apparently that's the first movie, not the second one. But, oh, man.
There's a photo of a truck on the highway, and the back of the truck broke open, and all the hospital waste spilled out over the road, including syringes
It's the most dangerous garbage
and
ever.
waste bags.
It's an actual nightmare. You need a special team of people to clean that up. Because touching it, like it has that
man.
big fuck biohazard logo on it for a reason.
Like, Google Maps just puts the biohazard logo on that dot.
It reminds me of that fucking asshole comic. The guy's wearing the shirt says "No Fear," and then it's like, what if a dump truck full of medical waste broke open? One fear.
Yeah. So the One Fear guy. I was actually reading about that yesterday. About the guy who created that original comic.
Yeah.
And the original T-shirt was, "What if all Simpsons porn was removed from the internet?" One Fear.
Oh man.
And then like how he's like, it's cool if people meme it and post it, but it's uncool
I
if you
watched
sell it.
an entire documentary on the biohazard logo a little while ago, and there was this. It was American scientists and designers, and because they had all this fucking nuclear waste from the bombs and shit, and they needed a way to fucking designate this shit is bad, it will kill you. Right?
Yep.
And so they made a shit zillion fucking symbols, one of which is the Abstergo logo. One of the rejected biohazards is the Abstergo logo.
Okay.
And they needed to get something that when people looked at it, it meant nothing to them. Mm-hmm. People couldn't even guess what it meant, but also they'd be able to draw it like hours later when they were asked it. Because there were some logos they made, which people were like, oh, that's probably trees or some shit.
Okay.
Throw that in the trash.
Okay.
Because it could be confused.
Okay.
So it had to be memorable, and it had to mean literally nothing. And they came up with the biohazard logo and went, hey, good, slap that on shit. Tell everyone it means poison. Fucked up, horrible poison.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, in my brain, it looks like a weapon.
It's evil looking as shit, isn't it?
It's an evil looking logo, but it also looks like a Klingon weapon.
The other thing is the idea, and this you can't test this, right? But it's like, listen, let's imagine a future in which we're all dead. Got it. And nuclear silos and shit like that and medical waste, they're unmanned, right? And some bumblefuck in the post-apocalypse wanders up and sees that symbol. Do they just assume correctly that this is probably fucked up and that they shouldn't touch it? Hopefully.
You do the best you can.
Because if not, they're going to have a bad day.
Shout outs, or rather, hard cut to bio-waste being the only thing to feed the New Mutants. Syringes are the only way to survive. Anyway... Valentine throws 3 syringes at you, and if you use light punch, she shoots damage over time. If you use medium punch, she increases your hit stun, so you can do more combos. Or if you use heavy punch, it adds lag to your inputs. And if you stack it 3 times, it literally lags you out like heavily, so that you feel like you're playing underwater. It's really good, and that fucks with the game.
What is the fuck that the medical waste is the only thing that feeds the New Mutants? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about the survivors of the post-apocalypse that killed everybody.
Sure.
That you just described. I'm talking about those that are immune, it being so immune that the world that they live in is now hazardous toxic waste everywhere, and that logo means we got good eats tonight, boys.
So instead of ghouls and radiation, it's the New Mutants and medical waste.
Toxic crusaders and such. People with the melting faces.
The idea of someone eating a syringe makes me want to throw up.
It's the only way to survive.
Shut up. Shut up.
Grocery stores are now the real hazards.
Wait, like a vegetable will kill them?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be radiated.
The moon.
We start forming camps around nuclear power plants.
Somebody recently informed me that the moon is, in fact, not human germ-free.
Yes,
There's some bacteria on it.
Bacteria followed strep throat.
Fucking get out. It's not enough.
Followed him to the moon. So sorry, tainted.
I hate it. Thanks. I hate it.
Yep,
for real.
You got nothing. Levi says, Lords of Beastdom. Have you ever seen people drive around in anime decal cars?
No.
In Ames, IA, a.k.a. the middle of nowhere, there's these two guys that drive around with anime decals on their sedan doors. One of them's red with startilingly, and the other decals look high quality. I can't imagine driving around with that on the side of something so expensive. What are your thoughts on the matter?
Yo, I bet those dudes get mad pussy!
I mean, the hentai car at MagFest shows up every year, doing its job. I wouldn't be surprised, quite frankly.
Roll down the window. Yo, this chick on my car's from an obscure anime from 1996. I got the tapes in my back seat if you want.
We can watch Digi Share It all day in my crib. You know, yeah, sure. There's a mystery wagon driving around Montreal. It's been years since I've seen it, but there is quite literally a mystery wagon.
I feel like there's a mystery wagon driving in every city ever. Scooby-Doo is ubiquitous enough.
Yeah, fair enough. Anime car, only at cons. I haven't seen any anime cars in Montreal.
I have not seen an anime car. I've not seen
ever.
No.
They're out there. They're out there.
Well,
for sure.
I know they're out there, but I have not personally.
I've seen
witnessed an anime
bad airbrush X-Men and Batman cars.
Fuck.
Those are rad.
I haven't seen any of those.
I love those things. Those are super good.
Jesus Christ, that's embarrassing.
Terrible airbrush comic book heroes cars. Fuck yeah. All about that.
It's the same fucking thing as bad tattoos, just more expensive and less permanent.
Yeah, I guess so. And we got one coming in from Eric. Dear Patty and Woolrick, what a very unique question this is. So my dad was a journalist for most of his life.
Cool.
Which means he lives and dies by the American Style Guide. He'd always correct my grammar. I love my father, but it got annoying having to always speak just perfect. Anyway, all this to say, it's now one of my pet peeves to hear people say, very unique. Things can't be very unique, and unique means one of a kind. It's one of his many lessons that got stuck in my brain. What's an example of something that drives you crazy about a family member that you nevertheless have picked up from them and can't stop doing? Quite frankly, I assume a bunch of my pronunciations, but that's not my family as much as it is.
I don't know.
French.
I'm going to change the question. People
Montreal.
that say on accident are fucking insane.
Oh, I got one. Okay, so you know how we often talk about weird pronunciations because we live in French Canada?
That's Quebec.
Yeah, it is.
I fucked that up. I meant to say that's correct.
There are some that I reject. I utterly and absolutely always reject close the lights. A lot of people that live here say close the lights.
Yeah, just close the lights.
Instead of turn off the lights. Mm-hmm. And that comes from...
Fermer les lumières.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
Because en français, you're saying that's how you translate it. And if you argue long enough, sometimes they'll say things like, well, it makes reference to closing the circuit, right?
And that's bullshit.
That's why they say fermer. But It sounds wrong every time, and I hate it. And every time someone says close the lights, including Steph, I'm like, I will turn them off. I will not close them. You don't say, oh, no one says open the lights, right? Everyone, even in French here, says turn on the lights.
That's correct.
But sometimes that bilingual will slip into a weird place, and every once in a while it skirts up against something that I will never, ever accept. I reject your lights.
Is niaise even a fucking real word?
Naz is a real word, so it's close enough. But you don't just start the game. You open the game. That's true. Opens a game. Yeah. Naz was one that I picked up back in QA for sure. Like, that's a whole lot of Naz waiting for you right there.
The fuck does that mean?
Naz. It's like it's nauseating work.
Oh, fuck you.
But it doesn't just mean nauseating. It's like it's just a pain in the ass. No, not N-A-Z. N-A-U-S-E. Naz. You know? It's like you're just like that table full of work is hours of Naz waiting for you right there. Or you're being a Naz, you know? Like it's just one of those things that came over from Brighton. And
I think the problem that I'm having is that any of those vocal things that I've picked up, I'm unaware that they're wrong or even specific to me. The one that jumps to mind is an argument I've been having with my mom for 25 years, and she refuses to learn because this is the word in her mind where she says, hey, let's take an example. You know, you can mow the lawn, and if you need me, I'll be out on the gallery.
What?
That's right, the gallery. You know, the sitting area at the front of your house.
Well, that was great. You get to own that one.
That was a joke. No, it was not. Yeah, the gallery. You want to hazard a fucking guess? What it's supposed to be?
Veranda?
It's the
porch?
Gallery. You know, the porch.
She says gallery.
Gallery. And I'm like, Mom.
That's cause for concern.
I'm like, Mom, that's not a real word. She's like, of course it is. Everybody calls it a gallery. And I'm like, and sure enough, Grandma would fucking call it a gallery.
There's no D.
What fucking Ontario shit is this?
There's no D anywhere near.
I know! I know! You don't think I don't fucking know?
Anyway.
By the way, Mom, I love you. Happy birthday.
Look at that. For your birthday, it's a fucking children's book with words in it. Oh no, that's mean.
She's gonna see this clip now.
Oh no!
And tell me something to tell you, and you're gonna feel embarrassed. Nah, she gets a kick out of that shit. She's a good sport.
Yeah, my mom would not understand.
Oh really?
She would just be. She wouldn't be embarrassed. She wouldn't feel mad. She wouldn't feel happy. She wouldn't get a kick out of it.
Tilt her head.
She would just be extremely confused because this whole thing is just the most confusing
it's nonsense
thing.
magic.
It's
the devil.
It's just black magic. It just doesn't make any sense.
Am I the devil, Wooly?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
Are you white? No.
I sure am. Tough to get any whiter than this. I got recessive genes all the way down. Red hair, blue eyes, losing my fucking hair. You can see through my arm and see the blood.
Yeah.
Spread some cheese on me. Because I'm a cracker.
I'll pass.
Nailed it. Oh, you don't want to spread some cheese on this?
What's coming up and out?
You know what's coming out. Oh, this is a disgusting podcast. All right, hey.
Besides my lunch.
Anthem's coming out this week. Ooh, boy. exciting. I'm not going to do anything with that game. I'm going to stream over at twitch.tv/angriespat. Toss up between probably Bloodborne and Metro or anything else that I fucking feel like. Whatever. See me there. Usually start around 8. How about you, Wolves?
This Tuesday gonna be jumping into I'm gonna have some more anime on stream. I'm bringing in
I don't know, dude. I don't know if you can do that.
Okay.
I don't know if that's, acceptable.
It's happening. Bringing in a friend of mine, Alex, to come hang out with me and Reggie, and
not crazy Ninja Alex.
No, completely different. One of the organizers of the anime,
cool.
the Montreal Air Dashers.
Wooly versus core values.
And we're gonna be looking at Akatsuki Blitzkampf and
that's a good game.
BB Tag. We're gonna be going into that. Come Saturday, probably gonna be Titanfall 2 day.
Oh yeah.
Probably gonna be Titanfall 2 day this Saturday. And then the LPs continue. So, Jet Set Radio, RE2, Zone of the Enders coming to an end right now. We're in the VR missions, and I'm losing my mind. Like, if you haven't been checking out Zone of the Enders, and you want to see me like freak the fuck out because I can't believe how sick it is to pilot Jehuti, that's a good old time. Hanging out right now with those episodes, and then of course JoJo's Bizarre Adventure as well, which Volta and I are streamlining because that game gets a little bit grindy, and we have to do a little choppy of the LP.
A little snippy.
Choppy the LP. So that's what's happening over on Wooly versus.
Wait, did you just say choppy the LP?
I did.
Oh. Are you doing that on purpose? The fucking Kai pit with Val Venus?
Well, anyway.
All right.
Let me just see if I can.
Are you going to be able to lift that? That's so many.
I'm just placing this over here because I need to do the button. All right. That's a podcast, everybody.
Now you all go out and enjoy your energetic day. Empowered by Red Bull.
We should probably actually give a thanks to Red Bull for hooking us
Red
up
Bull
legitimately
Red
with
Bull
the
Esports Twitter account sent us a shit ton
sent
of
us
Red
all
Bull.
the Red Bull, and it was like, yo, we got all this
all we
Red
did
Bull.
was talk to them on Twitter, and they thought we were cool.
And we had a really fun interaction, and then they were like, yo, we're gonna hook you guys up. So yo, thanks
Red Bull.
for the Red Bull.
I love you, Red Bull.
RB CSB.
Fuck, that's terrible.